Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Darachat. I have, well, actually no. Okay, my name is.
Off to an
that's how
auspicious start. That's great.
that's that's how unprofessional I am. I completely forgot how to do this again. My name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short, because some people have trouble saying Daramouthe. It's Daramouthe, not
Mm.
Daramel, Daramouthe, or whatever. It's Daramouthe, and I am here with the lovely Miss Meg. Now, preface, Miss Meg was on before, but we were supposed to be on just us, but then that kind of got onto with Zeo and Chad, and that was a fun time all in itself. And of course, you've now been invited on their show through that part. So there we go. See,
Yeah,
I make magic happen. Age and
magic did happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
that, that's what I do. I make magic happen. But yeah, no, it's nice to have you just one on one because we haven't done that yet. So not saying that it's not like a big thing not to have other people. It's just that was what I was trying to aim for the first time around, and it went and it became more. So
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was great. I always have the fear that I'm gonna run out of things to say that are interesting. So yeah, the buffer of 2 extra people was it was actually a boon for me. I mean, not that actually run out of people, it's just a fear I have because I am that person.
right,
But yeah, no, it was really cool to be on, but now it's just the 2 of us. Whatever shall we talk about, sir?
just the two of us. Certainly I can
Well,
sing
first we're
that
gonna
song.
talk about those amazing vocals. So let's do that.
Oh no, dear Lord, no. I had Wicca on, and she wanted to hear me play the guitar, and I did for a little bit, but my singing is not the best in the world at
What do you
all.
play on guitar?
What?
What do you play on guitar?
No, I haven't nothing really. I just looked up some chords to the song I sort of knew, at least the rhythm and stuff, and I kind of just played that. Your background's starting to get a little slow. It was glitching out there a bit.
Oh, it
Isn't
is.
that from the isn't that from the Twilight, no, not Twilight Princess. Which Zelda game was it?
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember playing that.
Yeah,
But
I really liked it. I was doing the Let's Play on it, and I
mm,
really kind of need to finish that, but I was doing that, so this is some of the raw, just footage that I just stick behind me because otherwise it's a little static just staring at my little avatar there. I
and then
thought
you start
about making a, what are they called? The little VTube avatars, but that looked like so much work. I was like, "Ah, forget it, nah." And then
yeah,
it's uncanny and it's weird, and then you try not to get the motion moving all funky and stuff. I'm like, "Ah, no."
yeah. You don't want to look like you're moving in a way. I've had Kaiju on. All right, he used was it is it VTuber Studio or something like that, and they come with preset models, but yeah, he can get weird with it. But no, it's yeah, and I understand. Like I've said to me before, I understand if some people are anxiety ridden or whatever for coming on. Like I was telling Vivian yesterday, I had someone confess to me after the show that they had drank something before they came on. I was like, don't worry about it. You know, I'm the Atlas of this. You just sit there and watch me hold the world while in place. Because it is up to me. You know, it is my show after all, right? So I have to carry the majority of whatever this is. But no, it's always fun to have people on. And again, it's an interesting retrospect to say I've had 100 different people on, and then say, all right, let's see how many more I can get. Not that I know, not that I know. Um, but yeah, it's certainly been interesting. But what about with you? You still playing games, or you just kind of doing your stuff?
Well, my stuff is games. That
Right.
was as MediocreGamrGrl at least. I also have my alter ego, Cross
Mm.
Kitty, and
Ooh.
I know, as Cross Kitty, I put out vlogs or just I don't know, slight little conversation pieces or something. I did put out a there was this rumor going around, not getting political, but
Mm.
it was political in nature. They were saying that the reason that Kamala Harris has like baffling things and laughs in the middle of her sentences at places that are clearly not punchlines,
Mm.
was that she was drunk, and so, a couple days before that, I heard the song "Tipsy," so I decided to put that together and just make it funny, and it tickled me to pieces. I thought it was, like, the funniest thing ever, so
Goodness.
oh, I know, but comedy isn't nice, okay? But yeah, it was pretty funny. So that's kind of the stuff I do with Cross Kitty. But yeah, Meg as mediocre gamer girl, I'm literally just all about the games. You know, currently I'm playing through Okami,
Mm.
and I am not good. I am mediocre as the name implies.
Oh goodness.
I did not misname myself at all. There's anybody comes along and goes, "You lie. You're actually good at this." No, no. No, dude. Absolutely not. And actually no, I won the game won. Yeah, I have trouble with that word. Anyway, I won the game Black Myth Wukong in a raffle.
Oh,
I know,
nice.
right? I know I never win things. I was like, "What?" So, yeah, I fired that up today to see if it was gonna crash my computer, and it didn't, and I'm very excited about that.
I just got it yesterday, and I just bought it yesterday, but I didn't. I can hear myself going over there.
Oh, you can't? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. I
Let
mean, I
me
like to hear myself talk once in a while, but not that often. Goodness, trying to make
Oh,
me vain. Goodness. I think
alright.
I don't hear myself now. I think we're good. I mean, I hear myself, but I don't hear myself. That's a little confusing. I know. But I just bought the game yesterday, so I haven't really played it yet. I was again last night. I got done with her, and I was kind of taking a bit of a break. I really the only thing I'm having issues with is not. It's more of a personal thing. Is that I've not been making shorts as much, so I just uploaded a new um, stream. I've only made a few shorts from it, but I have to kind of go through it and get as much shorts as I can from it before I consider it a no go anymore. Because once I pick enough from that stream, right? When I pick it to the bone, so to speak, then I don't go back to it again because I didn't do that with the other streams in the past, and yeah, it's kind of a waste of time to not take as much from one stream because I have at least 3 weeks worth of shorts, and I use that in case I'm not able to stream or with family stuff coming up. So
Yeah.
I use that as a short gap. And of course, with shorts coming in fall, believe to Rumble, that will be an interesting addition to that. Um, but yeah, what are your thoughts on that for the Rumble update stuff? If you
Okay,
see
so I don't really follow the updates thing until they actually show up on my
Mm,
on my Rumble thing. So, I did get the I did finally click on the For You tab
yeah,
because it hasn't been there all this
yeah,
time, so, you know, I would just automatically just click on,
my
my
feed,
personal feed, yeah,
yeah.
because I was like, I don't you know, the editor's picks, I was like, "Well, editor, I don't know about you, but your taste seems all to be in your mouth, and I don't wanna watch these things. How dare you, sir? How dare you presume what is good for me?"
Mhm.
Yeah, but the For You tab, actually, I was like, "You know what? This is relevant. This is relevant to what I click. Also, I should probably diversify my interests." Uh
Yeah,
but yeah, but it was good. I actually liked the For You tab. I still hate shorts, but that's just a me thing. I'm an old, so we're just gonna say that's what it is. So,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah, 'cause
you're a bit older than me. I remember how old you told me you were, so you're a bit older than me.
yeah, I am. That's right. I expect all the respect, sir.
You
You
get
youngling,
nothing.
you whippersnapper.
I'll do the Willy Wonka thing. You get nothing. Nothing.
Okay, which version are we talking about, though? Are we talking about the Johnny Depp or the, Gene
No,
Wilder?
we're talking the first one.
Gene Wilder, okay.
Gene Wilder, yes.
A as it should be. I couldn't watch the Johnny Depp one, it freaked me out. I'm not a Tim Burton fan either, but, you know,
Well,
whatever.
and it's funny how Tim Burton usually keeps having um, Johnny Depp in his movies because and then he adds his wife, who's not his wife anymore, to that occasion. So it's a weird mixture there. But no, I understand general duality. I thought I pressed it. There we go. I understand that general duality. I know there are some people who who say it as well, but there have been people asking for it, and
Uh,
it's
I am not discounting that there are people out there who love shorts, and clearly, I mean, I've heard from enough creators who say, I get a lot of engagement from them, and I'm like, okay, I
mm,
have to accept that I am the plaid sheep in this story. I am not the norms.
yeah,
Burton's best movie was Sleepy Hollow. Mr. RW, that's so many letters and numbers. Mister, I concur
Mr.
with you.
R. Yeah, I just call him Mr. R for short. Yeah, no, it is just a lot of goriness because again, the Sleepy Hollow one I know of is the Disney one. Ichabod Crane, the animation that was. It was still a bit scary, but it didn't involve gore and stuff, and it was kind of weird to see Christopher Walken as the bad guy. So that was something.
To be fair, I only did see it one time. I mean, I was like, I didn't hate it. I didn't like kind of contemplate my life choices after watching it. So the every other Tim Burton movie, I'm just sitting there afterwards, just scratching my head, going, "What the heck was that? I don't even know." Like it just, he has a very. So the thing is that if you actually pay attention to the gaffing that's used in movies, which is to say, like the color palettes that they use,
Right.
um, see, I didn't, but that's because I didn't enjoy Tim Burton's Batman, but that's because I saw it as a full-grown adult, and like after I'd seen other Batman iterations. But uh, if you look at a lot of color palettes in movies, you can tell what they're going for by the colors that they use and by
Mhm.
how cold the composition is. When they're trying to make you feel uncomfortable and unsettles, they'll use colder colors. So like you look at Tim Burton movies, everything is like blue washed. It's very, very cold. It's
Mhm.
kind of unsettling. You feel a little bit raw. And
Right.
it's the way that it goes. If you ever watch a Hallmark movie, good God. Um they're over saccharinely sweet,
Mhm.
and you notice that the saturation is way high and all of the tones are very, very warm. You got a lot of yellow and reds and pinks and stuff, so
Mhm.
or like how a lot of horror movies use green.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. They use green, they use blue, they use these cold, unsettling colors of basically you don't want to see this color on a human being, basically. If you
Yeah.
see blue on a person, this person is probably dead or close to dead or dying or something like that. Something bad is happening to this person if they are green or blue. If they're red, well, they might be a little bit hot, but they're also like having a good time or something
Right.
like that. It's super health.
Mhm.
So
Or
anyway.
they're part of the Blue Man Group.
Uh, we need a but sort of sound because I feel like that's going to be happening a lot.
I don't have a soundboard, and unfortunately, I don't know if I have the money for that. Um, but no, but yeah, for the shorts thing, I use the shorts off of YouTube because I post it on both ends. I posted to both YouTube and Rumble, and I kind of use their system to kind of uh, show off the people that I have on. Like right now, I put my information, I put the other person's information in, and that way, hopefully, it leads to more discovery of that individual who I'm putting up. Because I try to mix it up, right? I of different people I have on because I don't want the same person's being every day, so to speak. So I try to mix it up, but yeah, and I get it. I get the TikTok sort of addictiveness, but when you're competing with YouTube, you kind of have to try to reach some similar bounds. Otherwise, it's because Twitch is live stream only, Kick is live stream only. That's great, that's fine, but
Mhm.
you kind of need more than that. And if you want to attract people who do pre-recorded videos uh, from YouTube, then you kind of need to allow that for too. And I know discussions were made about uh, just being live
Make
stream,
the
whatever.
shorts be with you.
Made the shorts. Yeah, that. There you go. Little space balls right there. But yeah, that's just me.
I wish I liked Spaceballs more than I do. I was moderately amused by parts of it, and then there were parts that were just like, eh. And I watched it with my husband, and he's cracking up on parts, and I'm just like, I want to laugh at this, but it's. I think that I don't know. Maybe it's just that my brain doesn't compute as hard. But I noticed that it's mostly most guys think that Spaceballs is like peak comedy there. And a lot of girls are like, "Yeah, it's funny." You know,
Right.
there are parts the combing, like the pun, it's basically if Dad Jokes was a movie. And so, the combing the desert, they're
Mm.
doing the great sock, etc. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's a
it's a
little
little
dated.
dated. It's not the datedness. I mean, I unironically watch Bob Hope movies and laugh my little tushy off. So it's not the datedness. It's honestly just the type of humor. And like I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but I have to watch it in bits. I cannot just sit there and watch the whole thing in one sitting. It feels like too much. I know. But I mean, I tell my friend that, his mother was a hamster and his father smelled of elderberries constantly. So, I mean, it's and someone says, "Oh, do you want to go to this place?" And like, no, it's a silly place. And half the time people don't get it, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look, you're injured. It's a flesh wound. That kind of stuff. It's great. It's
No,
so great.
you have to say it's tis a flesh wound. You can't say
Yes,
it's a flesh. You have to say tis a flesh wound. Come
I
on,
get
Meg.
it.
Gosh. Ah,
Bring out your dead, etc. Help, I'm being repressed. That kind of stuff. It's all good. It's just together it just kind of it starts to the joke. It's like eating too much of a good thing or something like that. It actually your tongue starts to get numb to it. So I kind of start getting numb to it. So I need it in bits.
yeah. Well, have you
So
watched the show then, the series of Monty Python?
the Flying Circus.
Yeah.
I've seen clips, and one of my favorites is the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's such a great concept, and like the first, I wanna say minute and a half, 2 minutes are fantastic, and then
uh,
it's like they were just it's kind of like Holy Grail, where they're kind of like, "Alright, we can need a way to get out of here now. We just
yeah.
need a way to make a graceful exit," and there really isn't a way, so they're just kinda like, "I don't know, somebody throw something and just, like, we'll just go with that," and that's just kind of how it ended. It was yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of, sketch comedy shows like that, kind of have that problem though, where they're just kind of like, "Hey, this is a great idea," but the thing is that there's also a narrative in it, and the narrative kind of doesn't
Yeah.
always. There's not always a graceful way to get out of it, So,
Yeah. It's
but but it
uh,
is it's so brilliant, and I will occasionally do a silly walk in public on purpose because I just don't shake your head at me, sir. I
you are a
must get
silly
what
walk.
enjoyment I can out of life.
you you are a silly walk. No, I watch clips too, mostly just through YouTube because my sibling tried to look for um to buy these series and it's like expensive as heck, even trying to go on like Amazon because
Mhm.
PBS and stuff.
Yeah.
Um However, the getting to watch the bits and pieces, one of my favorite ones is the Killer Joke. Because I just find that hilarious that they have to turn a joke that could take out people into German misshapen words, and then they they go through the war and they just use it to take out. Oh, it's too funny. That's just the one I laugh at every time because it's a joke that could kill you. That's something right there.
I don't think I ever saw that one. I let's see. I think I love the no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. That
And the way they try to torture the old lady is just hilarious. It's like you're tying a dish containment thing around her. What?
that one actually didn't get old to me. I think I watched the entire thing and was just tickled to pieces the entire time. So it
Yeah.
was yeah, it was. I think that one was actually that was one of the few ones that kind of like lasted the entire time for me. It was really funny.
Then there's there's another one is the argument clinic is what it's called. It's where you go to clinic to argue with someone, and he's basically just it's with Michael Palin and John Cleese, and John Cleese is just taking the opposite of what he would say, you know, and all that stuff. And it's been a while, but I do like that. And there's just a little skid stuff as well. It is also UK humor. It's also English humor. So there is a distinction of like between American and English. But there is some things. Modern Day
Modern day
Argue Clinic
argument.
is sweet. True. Except you don't always pay for that. So there's that. Um, hey, thank you, Stuff. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Glad a lot of people stopped by your stream that one time. He actually got rated by the Lumpy's Roundtable. So uh,
Nice.
yeah. But anyway, I don't know if I told you, but there is something I'm gonna do in November that's gonna be a bit of a roundtable in its own right. Because Lumpy does for his thing is great, but I wanted to try to do something that was more positive, forward thinking.
Hello,
So
Stuff.
what?
Oh, Stuff Central said, "Hello,
Oh,
mate," and I said, "Hello, Stuff."
yeah, he's not English though.
Well, he said hello, so I return in kind.
Oh,
I am
jeez.
polite, sir.
That's a little too like down
I
in the
said
dirt, I
I'm
think.
polite, sir.
Oh, bloody hell! Watch yourself. Such a lady with such a drastic tongue or disastrous tongue, something like that. I do bad accents. I sort of do bad accents. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, there's a thing I'm going to do in November. It's going to be called Rumble Squared. So it's going to be like the Rumble with like the two at the end, that
Mhm,
little power to two.
mhm.
And where, uh, but yeah, I'm going to do that sometime in November. And I'm going to invite people. Well, it's going to be open to people who haven't been on as a guest, people who have been on as a guest, or people who never used Rumble or are interested. And because there's not a whole lot of data to go off. Well, at least from what we can see, right? We don't get to see the behind the scenes stuff data, and so it'd be interesting to know like the roadmap and all that stuff. And I'm not saying I'm going to get that, but I do want to make it a space where data can be was it congruated, congregated? Is that the word?
Congregated?
Congregated. That's right, congregated because
Coalesced might be better.
collab. Okay, there, Webster.
Are
I
you
like
old enough to have actually watched the show Webster?
Webster. No, I don't think
No.
I've heard of the
Yeah,
show
okay. So
Webster.
no, alright, sorry. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just move along, sir. Move along. Move along with
And
your young
now
life.
for something completely different. Um, but yeah, I'm going to be doing that in November, and it's gonna be with the first couple roundtables Slumpy did had like 9 people total. I'm not going to do that. That's a lot of people. It's going to be 7, and it's just going to be a way of was it coalescing was what you used.
Yeah.
Okay, coalescing data so that way new people can come on and find out what is the big thing people want, right? Like what is the it's like a bootleg version of different strokes. Hey,
It is. It
hey,
is.
distracted, don't you come in here with that. No.
No, Webster totally was. That's totally what it was.
What?
Oh, distracted's here to distract again. Oh no.
They're always welcome in the chat. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be open to a lot of different people. But yeah, I just want to move the whole Rumble stuff in a more positive forward thing. And of course, since I had Vivian on, there's a connection there to that sort of thing. So who knows if I'll ever have any more people on from Rumble or locals, but one can always hope. So, but anyway, that's my tangent. I apologize. I was just trying to get that information out there because he'll be invited onto that too. So yes, it is. My job is done, and they disappear into the night.
No, distracted. We like distractions. Distractions are fun.
Yes, they are. Except when you're trying to remember what you said, and you're like, carry the 1 times the 5, all that stuff.
Yeah, at some point in life, you just go, you know what? That's just life. Life is distraction. That
Yes,
just kind of is.
that's true. That is very true. And that's a very funny thing is because then you start asking yourself, do the things we create are they pure happenstance to just be distraction, or are they made to just be distraction? Because I mean, technology. Well, yeah, that's true. It has its moments. I would agree with that statement. I put my full approval on that one. But yeah, would the things we create become are they a distraction by accident, or are they created to be the distraction on purpose? And that's the weird thing about all the things we create, right? Is, whether it's to be helpful, whether it's to be hurtful. Well, it can be hurtful, what it's used for, and all this stuff. Because again, um, we hear about the, from content creators. I kept hearing about, games and books and all those things were a form of escapism, and I was like, and then my question to that is why, right? What is going on in your life that you need something to escape to in order to not, you know, live in essence or whatever. I mean, I know job stuff, but anyway, that's just my philosophical thing I'm bringing out. Jump in at any time.
No, no, I wanted to hear what you were trying to say, or you were getting at, what your whole thought was. I didn't want to interrupt the thought because that would be a distraction. Yeah, that's right. You
Goodness.
see how we bring it all around.
Oh
Ding.
goodness.
Um, so I will say that I think that um we are geared towards wanting things that are fun and things that are entertaining and
Right.
things that are sugar highs. We
Mm,
look towards sugar highs constantly, and ain't
mm,
nothing
mm.
wrong with dessert, but I
Right.
think that we can actually get addicted to them as well. And I think that that
Right.
is actually a he has no idea what he said. Um, I think that we have the ability to be addicted to the distractions in life, and therefore we
Mm,
become unprofitable people
mm.
who um just wind up don't making leave not leaving a mark in life. So, I mean, television was
Yeah.
a huge distraction in life. Video games, yeah, dopamine hits we get from stuff.
Mm.
And I think that dopamine is important. I think that you shouldn't, forego things and become a stoic and,
Right.
um, just live in misery just for the sake of it. But I think that it's also important that everybody kind of tries at least to leave the world better than you found it.
Mm-hmm.
We are all put on this earth for a specific reason. There is a hole, or there is a color that only you can, yeah, a hole that only you can fill. There is a color that only you can shine, if you will. And I think it's kind of important. Shut up, shut up. I
That was
know.
that was
I'm
the
saying
worst.
something
That
important.
was the worst thing
Yes.
to use.
Do not
Everyone,
go. Do
everyone
not
has a
go.
hole to
That's what
fill.
she
That's
said,
great.
honey. I mean, jeez. But yes, there
That is
is
what she said.
I did said that, and I have regrets. I know, and this is
No,
why we
you have
can't have nice
regrets.
things or deep
You
conversations.
have
But
regrets.
all that being said, I think that we all have something that we can give to this world, and we all need it is our duty to find it. It's great to have fun. It's great
Mm,
to get enjoyment out of life. Life is beautiful. It's also tragic. It's also serious. All of these things are true at the exact same time.
mhm.
And yeah, I just think that a lot of times we do get too distracted, bleh, too
Right,
addicted to our creature comforts and the things that just kind of numb us to the difficulties of life. And
right. I in that and because that for me that leads to the bit of content creation because you know the big complaint. I mean, of course, there's mockery that gets involved, which is fine. Every comedian or everyone mocks to some degree to have a laugh at it. But then the question becomes, okay, so what are you doing to combat the complaint you're making, right? Because usually it's entertainment, gaming, all this stuff. I get it, right? You have these people in these industries that was it propagate a ideal ideology or an ideology, whatever. My issue is that okay, you have content creation built around complaining about the things that they want to get better, but they're not really offering solutions to. Not everyone, right? Not everyone. There's some who do. They make their own comments. They're comics. They're independent. Some make their own games. All this stuff. But the many who do, they don't really offer much else other than let's laugh at this, let's do this, all this stuff. And it's just for me. For me, it could it I won't say it confuses me, but it does make me pause and ask why, right? Like we have like saying, dang it, with before of saying about um now okay, what was I trying to say with
It sounds like
malfunction,
it sounds like you're saying that people are complaining without offering solutions. They're
right?
complaining, but they're not making things. It's kind of that argument, well, if you think if you think that you can do such a better job, why don't you go do it? And I understand that.
Mm,
I do think that we all should try to contribute something to the world. But the thing is
mm,
that not everybody is made to create. You can But everybody does have eyes to see. And if you are supposed to be a consumer, or a person that would be in the audience, I suppose.
mm,
I think that if you see something that's not good, that it is incumbent on you to say, "Hey, that wasn't good." And if there's something that's good, you should say, "Hey, this is good." I think that we shouldn't be wholly focused on things that are terrible. We should also lift things up that are good, and that's the
mm,
way that you get good things, you know?
right.
Not everybody's gonna be able to make a video game, but I can say, "You know what? With the few dollary dues that do have and a little bit of influence that I do have, I'm going to use that. I'm gonna use my dollary dues, and that I'm gonna spend it on things that I think I want to succeed, and I'm
Right.
gonna use the voice that I have to say, I think that this is good, and I think that that is bad, and I think that this is why these things are good and bad, and
Mm,
this is what we should push forth, and this is the lesson that I took from the thing that was good. This is the lesson that I took from the thing that was bad, and
mm,
this is what I think that we can take and apply to life." So I think that there is value to be had in criticism. I don't think that your whole life should be criticism because that makes you bitter, it makes you sad, it makes you unhappy, and it
mm,
also makes the people around you bitter, sad, and unhappy, and it is easier to destroy than it is to create.
yeah.
But by the same token, I don't think that that means that you should let things off the hook when they are bad.
Right. Well, and the funny thing is when you said your line of not everybody can create, my thing would be, well, not everybody can create, but they have the opportunity to create because technology will be in a position to where almost anyone can. And so the more that statement is said, the less it becomes viable because we know for a fact with all the, of course, it's an umbrella term, but I'll use it anyway with the AI stuff, right? You have of course Chat GPT, you have language learning models, you have generative art, you have all this stuff. The doors will slowly become more open for that. Almost anyone, to a
All right.
degree, will be able to
Well,
do something with.
let me push back on this a little bit because just because you have the ability doesn't mean you have the vision to do something. I work with scientists where they have ideas. I can picture Meg voicing audiobooks. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, but
Chapter
I
one is no.
chapter one, yeah. Um, but I work with scientists, and they have ideas for how they want their concepts to be conveyed. But
Mhm.
I don't just draw exactly what they say. I want to have a conversation with them and find out what they're trying to say. And a lot of times, their idea is not conveyed as well with just their one for one their one for one translation. I
Right.
kind of need to be in there and say, well, this is actually the way that the human brain works. This is the way that we actually understand things. This tells the story a little bit better. You do need that skill. You do need an artistic eye and an artistic understanding. Artists are not irrelevant. So I think that, and also I will say that if everybody's talking, nobody's listening. So I think that there does need to be an audience, and that's perfectly fine. I want to do something that allows people to escape from reality for a little bit. We can't constantly be in constant stress and depressed. I concur, general duality. I
I
think that it's important.
We can't constantly be in constant. Well, that doesn't always have to be the case, though. That is at a certain point, it is a personal choice to be in that state, though. Like, uh, gosh, I gotta try to save that. The ability to be constantly be in constant stress and depressed. The point of the matter is that you choose how your life's gonna go. There's some things you can't. They're out of your hand. That's just an accepted thing. But there are things that you can do to better your own life, to put you in a better position, or create your own luck, sort of thing. The problem of it is people become stuck in a rut or stuck in a thing, right? They get in a tunnel vision of not being able to see any way out. And while that's understandable to a degree, because again, it's I don't know how many people, billions of people in the world, and we're all supposed to find our purpose. Well, someone can have the same, someone have different. It's a varied bag of mixed nuts, and some nuts are not always the best. But the point,
Said
my
authoritatively. Okay.
authority. Oh, you're saying authoritative? Okay, all right. Go and say your
I'm
words.
just noting that you said that with great authority, and I'm like, okay, I guess he knows about nuts. That's fine.
Yes, cashews, pecans, Brazilian.
Sure, sure. Try to clean it up. No, no, you don't get to do that after you went after me for my little faux pas. No, no.
Oh goodness, someone's throwing out the French now.
I said,
Let me tell you how much better I am, and I'll throw out a few
but of course,
French, but a few French words, course. I just see this thing where we create our own problems. All human beings do. We all do, right? We create our own problems and we create our own solutions to it. And the funniest thing in the world is that we keep battering at these silly things that we've created. People will batter at things on a political scale, like government. We created government. We as human beings created government. Oh wow, we haven't found anything beyond that. Okay, so let's complain about how it ruins us and how other people, blah 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 blah. Right? We as human beings, we create entertainment, and yet there are people within that part that dismay the creativity of, or they have bad creation or whatever, and yet it seems like we do more complaining on the matter of fact than creating and overpowering their dismay of what they created. It's a lot of this, it's a lot of that, and there's not going to be one answer to everything. I do know that. It's just from my perspective, it gets kind of tiring to hear the same thing to some degree, and it's just like, okay, now what? Right? And I can't say any different, right? I'm not like the savior of the world sort of thing, or protesting whatever. It's just from my perspective, it seems like a lot of something, but not a lot of um, doing. A lot of speaking, not a lot of doing. If that makes sense.
yeah. But I again, I'm gonna say that it's kind of like the leaders versus followers. Everybody's always saying
Yeah.
everybody should be a leader. If that's the case, you have no followers. That doesn't you that's not the way that humans are built. It's not the way that we're made. It's not the way that it makes sense, honestly. If you have a bunch of leaders, you're just going to have a bunch of anarchy and everybody's just going to be fighting all the time. You have
Fight it.
Yeah, and it's the same thing when it comes to art and creation. And I
Mm,
think that not everybody can create something. I
yeah.
think that, and that's fine. That's not a diss on people who
Mm,
can't create. If you can't sing, if you can't write music, you can
yeah.
still say, I don't like these songs that are coming out. Yes, the songs of this era absolutely suck. I mean, you can still say that
Mm,
even if you can't make music. I mean, I do think that there's a place for criticism, and
right.
especially if that's what's currently in the zeitgeist and what's being pushed forth as good. And I think that there needs to be pushback against what is popular if we see that what is popular is actually poison. So I think that that's something. I do think that everybody does need to stop for a minute though and take stock of their own lives. We
Mm,
are all responsible for what we do with our lives. And I
mm,
think that we need to take stock of our own lives and say, am I actually using the gifts that I do have, the talents that I do have to the best of my ability? Or am I just going in there and, getting the sedative or the panacea for
mm.
this world that's so difficult because
Whoa, whoa,
life
whoa,
is
whoa,
hard.
whoa, 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 whoa! You're throwing out words there. What's
Uh,
panacea? Come on.
um, uh, it's kind of like a numbing agent, I suppose you could say, a
Oh,
panacea for the pain.
sort of like anesthesia or
Yeah.
sedation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't think of those words though. I just so the thing is that the first time and the only time I've ever heard the word panacea used was when I was watching Frasier. So I'm
Oh,
not as smart as you think I am. I just use words that I hear on TV. But but
well,
yeah, no,
I'm no different. I'm no
yeah.
different. I
But no,
just
but I mean, I use that because I couldn't think of the word anesthesia. So there you go.
or sedation. No, I would have.
But no, because you're not completely sedated. You're sitting in this anesthetic fog, but you're not completely sedated. It's kind of like if you're when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, they gave me anesthesia, but I was wide awake for the entire experience.
You'll probably get
By the
them.
way, getting all of your wisdom teeth taken out at the exact same time was fascinating.
Yeah, I enjoyed the laughing gas better. I just had Novocaine and laughing gas and laughing gas. Oh, ooh, it has to be a constant thing though, otherwise it just wears off after a few minutes. But
No,
yeah,
I didn't have that either. And honestly, I don't want that. I don't trust me. So I I
yeah.
honestly don't know what I would be like if I were under the influence of something,
It's
but
it's not that you're not beyond the point you don't know where you are. It's just it's almost like a relaxing gas, really. I know they call it laughing gas, and no, you don't laugh. All right, if anyone was confused by that, it's more of you're just very relaxed. Because there was one point where they were having trouble with my bottom, uh, wisdom tooth back there, and they had to push down hard. And I was like, there's points where I can't breathe a bit, so you might want to let up.
Mhm.
It was just for a few seconds, but no, laughing gas is. I think for me it's just better than going to
Lol.
sleep because they kind of have to use their other doctor whatever. It makes you feel dopey. Yeah, it does. I'd say it just makes you feel relaxed, makes you feel dopey, but it doesn't make you like spew out words. Like you don't start spewing out secrets or whatever. You do contain some of your uh faculties at that point. It's just very like you just like I could just do this all day. You just keep me here, guys. Keep what?
Well,
Well, open mouth.
from my understanding, it was kind of like it's like you on alcohol. It's kind of
Mm,
your base instincts in some way without the guardrails of your consciousness. Really, your inhibitions really getting in the way, you know?
if they were to say maybe a glass or half a glass of alcohol, sure, but you can drive after you're done with laughing gas because it doesn't take very long to. I mean, it takes okay, maybe it takes about 5 minutes or so to wear off, but it doesn't. You're not like loopy. You're not like drunk goggles sort of view. It's not like that. It's just very relaxed, very in a state of just it's like a state of zen, but not really. I've dealt with depression for most of life, and the past few years I started figuring out where I should be moving towards my life. And the other time I feel happy is when I'm in grip. See, there you go. That's
Yeah.
that's the doing factor though. That's not the saying factor. So you
Yeah.
took action and you went for it. And I think a lot of people they do are lost. They try to find where am I supposed to fit. I mean, for me, I didn't I took courses on CompTIA to try to do like computer stuff, but I didn't end the job for that. Well, sort of, but I didn't end up when I thought would. Um, but once I started doing all this stuff, I was like, I found my thing. I found the thing I want to go after because there's some things in life that you have to hit on in order for to get that click. It's that internal click you feel, and once you do, it's just like okay, I got to keep going on this, and the road that leads in that can split out or whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, it sucks. It sucks when you're stuck in your own head. And you're like, what am I to do? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And
And I think that the anesthetic fog of our of our
I
distractions can
yeah.
actually be a hindrance to actually finding what you're supposed to do, you know?
Mhm,
If you just come home and just turn on the telly and let the telly just kind of numb you to the world and to the pains and to the things that are the nagging voices in your head saying, you could be doing something with your life, then yeah,
mhm,
you're going to be unhappy. And I think that there's actually a difference between happiness and joy. Joy is that deep, fulfilling, lasting thing. So even when sad things happen or bad things happen, you still have that joy, that peace inside of you. But
mhm.
happiness is that momentary fix. It's a sugar high, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
Life will take
dopamine or
you down a
whatever.
dark path.
Yeah, and I can see that general
And it will
duality
get
with
better
that.
if you strive for it. Yeah. Yeah, we are actually made to be responsible and to be lifting heavy things and to get strong and to get good and it's not actually encouraged in our current society, and we kind of need to encourage each other with that kind of thing.
It's
I
the
absolutely agree
it,
with you.
it's the keeping busy versus not keeping busy, because again, you can go back to frontier days, and yeah, it's a lot more Wild West, so not really can't be the same. However, the ability to you're working to stay alive by making food or doing something that can earn you money, that can buy the food and all this stuff. And there's not technology is growing in order to better the farming stuff or convenience in life, but you don't have the same sort of technology we do now, and that becomes its own thing, because sooner or later, with how this stuff is going to go, you're going to have something that's similar to Ready Player One. There's just no getting out of that, because as we all know, technology grows at this pace to go somewhere, and it's not like it's not like some people were, I know people were hoping for flying cars, whatever, like back in the future, but the point of the matter is that we'll be in a portion where that technology will, I don't know if it'll be like cyberpunk, but we'll probably get to some degree of that. Maybe not exactly, but some degree of that. And and I think I understand the real fear behind it. However, what progress can you stop to not for it to happen? What progress, or what internal thing can you do for yourself that you would rather, that doesn't go down that road or whatnot? Because it's a mixed bag, and you're not gonna, and again, like with the AI stuff, right? Like, yes, I get it. I get the arguments, against and for. However, the bag is open. Pandora's box is has been broken open, and it's not closing again. And so we kind of have to deal with how we deal with this thing we call technology. And again, like I've said many times before, technology, any form of technology created by human beings has a duality to it, and that duality is good or evil. There's no in between. But that's only if a human is touching it. If it's by itself, it has no inner action. It's just, or it has no
It's
action.
basically
It's
like a
inner
butter
action.
knife on a table,
Yeah.
and it's up to you how you're gonna use it. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't disagree with that. I saw that, and I was trying so hard not to laugh while you're talking because Distracted is out here distracting us like crazy.
Kalana Shafi.
Colonoscopy.
I know it's colonal. I know it's colonoscopy, but Kalana Shafi. If you almost did like Kalana Schlappy, that'd have been better. Um,
That's probably an accurate description of what would happen. That would be my assumption.
and he says,
Also, you will never go back to that dentist.
yeah, we're at a point where a computer can create something from typing words. Yes, exactly. Yes, it's a umbrella term, but
Mm.
the AI sphere, right? If we just want to kind of call it that, yes, we've come to Luma. We have Luma. We have the Sora. I don't think it's for
Have
public
you
yet, but we
have you
have
guys
this.
actually used, AI?
I kind of do it for myself. So I use Opus.Pro, which kind of uses AI to make shorts from. I also use Claude.ai to kind of help with making titles for stuff and all this sort of things, and
Well,
kind of just
I meant
whatever.
to kind of like to do something like creation by creating by, typing words in a box.
Oh,
Have you
that
tried
that
doing that?
that's more like the Mid Journey, the Luma Labs, stuff
Yeah.
like that, where you just I've used the Luma Labs, not to any big extent, but you know, once or twice. And then there's Midjourney. I've used Midjourney.
Mhm.
What else? There was I know the Sora.ai is one, but I don't know if that's open to the public or not. But there are those things that I've seen and to some degree use, but not too often, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, I don't call what it does creation. It's, um, again, more like a collation of some of a lot of information. It's like making a sandwich isn't making a cold cut sandwich isn't actually you're not making something so much as you are rearranging things. The Pandora box can be creating. Ah.
You had to open your pie hole for that one.
Ah.
And I
The
get that.
internet never forgets, dang it.
That's true. And I get what you're saying, but my thing is, okay, so we have a bunch of stories. that humans have created, whether it be animation, books, whatever,
Mhm.
how many of that is stuff that's been recycled though? That they've taken one thing here, item
Mhm.
A, item B, and smashed them together, and they've created something new from that, right? And I get it. I do get it. However, we are at a point where we have a thing that makes that process faster in essence to a degree. We have something that takes those A and B and smashes it together and possibly create something out of it or not, depending on what your view is.
Well, I think
However,
that there's a difference between creation and making. Because even the things that it uses to create, it's like people like that's why a lot of artists have gotten mad and said, "Don't
mm,
train AI using my stuff," because of the fact that it just takes other people's stuff and ideas
you you kind of get
and
the
kind of uses their style and mimics the things that it's done. So it's like
mm,
taking things off of a shelf. If you've had a conversation, like
mm,
quote unquote conversation with an AI bot, it's uncanny and it's unnerving, but,
mm,
I think it's important to kind of understand how it how it creates, and to just go into Midjourney. Honestly, just go into Midjourney and ask it to do things, and you'll kinda see what I'm talking about. It's kind of like it's doing a web search and then creating an amalgamation of all the things that it finds to kind of try to match what you've yeah, to kind of try and find something that matches what you're doing. It's making a it's taking all of the things that exist and kind of trying to combine them in a way that's fitting to what you've asked for. It
right.
doesn't
But
like create, you know. It makes things, it doesn't create things. I understand you're like, this is a quibble, this is a
mm,
semantic game, and I'm like, but it's not, darn it. There's a difference
well,
between vision
oh,
in your head and the
right.
imagination and all that stuff, and the things that AI does, which is taking stuff off of a shelf from the internet.
Okay, define creation.
Creation is something that comes from inside of you as
Mm,
opposed to something that comes from um an outer source, which is not to say that you can't be inspired, but
mm.
when you make an imagination, it is something wholly different than when you just rip something off.
So when you're inspired, right,
Mhm.
you're taking something from something else. Inspiration can be inspired by, say, the Mona Lisa, right, which was created
Well,
by someone else.
have you been inspired by something though to the point where you like, 'cause I mean, I don't know how other people think or see or exist because I
Mm.
exist in my own head. It just occurred to me like a year ago that I walk around with music constantly in my head, and that's not normal. So I don't know how other people experience the world.
Well,
Like I literally wake up with music in my head. It's yeah, it's a thing.
right, but you can't say you're the only one though.
No, I'm not the only one, but I also realize that it's not common and that other people don't
Mm,
experience it the same way. So I also realize that when I see colors, if I say, "Oh, that color is beautiful," and someone's like, "That color is dog water," they might not actually see it the same way. They're not experiencing it the same way.
right.
So I see the way I see a lot of things is literally inside of my head.
Hmm.
It's literally creating things in my head, explaining the world to me. This is how I
Hmm.
react. This is how I interact with the world. And when I'm talking to or dealing with I
Hmm.
can see how it's quote unquote thinking. Megan inspires me to use big words.
She's expialidocious right there.
uh, yeah. So, and making something is kind of like following a recipe to the letter. Creation
Maybe.
is creation is taking things that are there, but
Mm,
then you make something that's based off of your imagination. Off of something that comes inside of you. You need your own spark for that.
okay.
There's something like I believe that there is something beyond just this material world. I believe that there are souls. I believe that we
Mm,
have that consciousness is more than just being awake. So I do believe that there is something, and that's why there's something between good art and bad art, and you can actually see these things. I think that there is something when you say something is soulless and it's dead, even if it's technically perfect, you know?
right. But is that a perspectual thing or is that an everyone thing?
Oh, you mean objective versus subjective? Um,
Pers- per- Perspective versus subjective because it is your perception of the item,
Mhm.
and there will be many people who agree with you on said perception in a way.
Yeah.
However, not everyone has the same perception as you were saying about the music in your head. Not everyone has it, but there's some people who could be on that line. My my figuring of, and I I'm not saying a true yes or no, because I'm not gonna be the champion of either argument.
Yeah, I
My
agree
thing
with
though
gender duality.
is I look at this thing, right, is that a lot of people in this world have been inspired by one thing or another, and there
Mhm.
cannot be a my thing of for the creation factors, right, that no human being can create something out of nothing, because they're inspired by stuff all around them in some factor, whether
Yeah.
it's subtle or whether it's completely like conscious. There's a difference between conscious and subconscious, right? Because those are very Bill. However,
What's up, Bulldozer?
however,
I agree with you, general duality, that makes sense.
oh, what is he? It says, I'm
Trying
trying
to
to
use
use
it as
this
a way.
more creative. I'm using this as a rough draft for my vision. Yeah, so other people can use their mind a little more. It's been creative. Yes, I can understand that as well.
Yeah.
My
It's an
issue with
inspiration tool, absolutely. It's a tool, I'm just saying. My only argument is that there's still something that needs to come from you.
mhm,
So,
right, and
and
if
that's
you were
not
to
everybody's necessary bag. So I think that, like, not everybody's gonna be able to create a movie, but more
mhm,
people might be able to create music or something. I mean, you have more ability because it doesn't require as much technical ability, and
right,
I think that's the difference.
I think we'll
Welcome to
come.
the philosophy group discussion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Well,
do that.
Bill Dozer's bond before us, so he has an you know. The my thing is that it comes down to what you like versus what you don't like. Like, you see a thing, does it attract you or does it not attract you? Because again, you know the dopamine hit, right? Like, there's this thing that you like, oh, that's great, and it lights up that little thing in your brain. And then there's a thing that you come across and you don't like it, and it it's like that down arrow, and it's like that down arrow on Reddit. It's sort of like the downvote. I think that's what they call it,
Mhm.
a downvote button. So it
Well, do you concur that there can be something that even though you don't like it, you can say that it's good?
that yeah, that's a perspective thing. That I
Well,
don't. I say this painting. Like, I could look at, say, a painting by Van Gogh,
mhm.
and I can say I don't like this painting of his, but I do like this painting of his, and you can say the opposite. We both have different perspectives as how we view things, because our here our internal environment right here is is affected by the external environment around here. As a child, you grow up with the lessons your parents give you, and of course, you know, children grow up with different parents, and there's good or bad with that, and all that stuff. The point of the matter is that your external environment affects the internal environment, and vice versa, and you give this ebb and flow. Every human does. They give an ebb and flow of all these things, and I think to some degree that it's it can the conversation can get lost in that it is this thing and not this thing. Well, it's both.
Well, so let me explain what I was trying to say, 'cause I probably didn't do it so goodly. Um,
Goodly.
yeah, oh, no, I did I put a sick behind that? Like, yeah, bro, I did it on purpose, so, yeah, just so you know.
Oh, good. She's throwing out big words, guys. She's throwing out big words again. Give her a downvote. No.
Wait, goodly? That was intentionally wrong. My
Oh,
mother is crying in the corner right now, but she doesn't hear, but she felt a disturbance in the force. But okay, so let's take the movie Alien and the movie Aliens. These are 2 very different
this
movies by 2 different
okay.
directors
So
and
there's
everything like
many
that.
alien movies, so you have to be descriptive about which alien movie you're talking
No, the
about.
first Alien and the second Alien. So
Okay, the
Alien, and then there's
first alien
Aliens
movie and the
with a
second alien movie. Okay, okay.
yes. The first Alien movie, I would argue, is objectively fantastic. I don't enjoy that movie at all. I will
Mm,
never watch it again. I was
mm,
disquieted, I was disturbed, I was unnerved I was so unhappy that entire movie, but it
mm,
was fantastically done. It
mm,
was great. As far as movies go, it is really, really good. However, I enjoy the movie Aliens, which is a much shallower experience. It is not that good. It's basically just a silly little action flick. I mean, it
Right.
has moments that literally made me cringe because they were so corny,
Yeah.
but it's a much funner experience. I like that movie
Mm,
way more than I like Alien, but
mm,
Alien is much, more thoughtful, it's much deeper, it's just better done. It's a very good movie. I don't
mm,
like it, but it's a good
mm.
movie, and that's what
Right.
I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a difference between quality of actual work and the enjoyment that you get from it as well. So I was saying, do you notice that difference? And that sometimes our biases can get in the way of that, of course, but I think that that's still, like, a thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The quality of something is based upon how good it is to a wide margin of people, right? So say a
Mm,
comparison of what's good for 1,000 people versus what's good for 1,000,000 people, right? That's the numbers game. If some
see, I don't know because I don't care if everybody in the world decided to tell me that Aliens is better than Alien, I would fight them all, and I'd be like, "No, you're
right,
absolutely wrong."
that's an extreme though. That's why I gave 1,000 versus 1,000,000 because not everyone's going to agree on something. That's a rule internally. We know not everyone's going to agree on something. My point is that for something to be so like the end game, right? A lot of people liked Endgame. It's why it made so much money. You have these little tidbits of information that you see in the world where it says, okay, so this thing was accepted by a lot of people, made a lot of money, and so on and so forth. And people later on talk about how it's like the last good thing, um, whatever. Um, I agree with Bill Dozer. Don't agree with everything. Don't agree with. Don't, Billzer. No.
As long as you agree that I'm right, that's all that matters.
That's what your husband's for. Anyway.
No, absolutely. Okay, all right. Let me just put this out here. All right. I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent. When we were going to get married,
Before you
a lot of
do, hey,
people.
hold on, hold on. Before you go rant right, hey, heavy, it's the top of the hour, right? Stop the hour, so you know how that. Well, I think you were on last time, so you know how that goes. But anyway, uh, for those who
Okay.
are in chat and don't know, or those who are watching are new, at the
Yeah.
top of the hour of every hour, I set aside some time for us to promote ourselves. And,
Yeah.
of course, Miss Vivian was different because she does work for locals Rumble, so she's not gonna have things for that, but she does try to do tutorials for doing Rumble locals. But anyway, I did put your links down below,
Cool
uh,
beans.
both your Rumble and TwitterX. So, but the floor is yours to sell yourself to so degree, not sell yourself, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just introduce myself and everything. I agree with you, Bulldozer. Happy wife, happy life is something that absolutely no woman should ever take to be a good thing. If someone says that to you, and if your husband ever says that to you, after you've had a conversation and he just shakes his head and goes, "Happy wife, happy life," understand that you're kind of a jerk in the moment. Anyway, moving on. So
This is how she promotes herself. She's
this
very,
is. I'm
very
sorry.
erratic, very
I, I
rangy.
am I am wearing the wrong costume right now. Let me transition. What's up, y'all? I'm Cross Kitty. Anyway, my name is MediocreGamrGrl, also known as the Meg, and I stream on Thursdays. I am currently playing through Okami. I play at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 7 p.m. Eastern Time for y'all in the center. Just figure it out amongst yourselves, because I can't, bro. There's too many times. I can tell you Pacific. I can tell you I can tell you Eastern. That's about it.
Eastern.
I also have another little channel under the nom de plume of Cross Kitty,
Mhm,
where I put out a couple of thoughts. I mean, I haven't put out a lot of things. I like 5 videos on it.
mhm.
And that's pretty much me in a nutshell, as it were.
The human nutshell they call Meg. Anyway,
Wah, wah.
anyway, I'm both on YouTube and Rumble. Her links are down in the description below. So if you want to check her out and see if she's worth following, the
It
choice
totally is.
is yours. Well, you kind of have to sell yourself for that. Not like that, but you kind of have to
You shouldn't say that
talk
to a
big.
girl. just
You
just
should
say it.
you gotta promote yourself bigger than that. Okay, I apologize. I didn't mean to say sell yourself, but it is kind of the way to do it. You are your own salesman, as one would say. But anyway, what was it? Anyway, guys, I am both on YouTube and Rumble, and if you wouldn't mind sharing liking, following, or leaving a comment, or one of it or all of it. Anything that helps with the engagement factor helps bring on more people like Meg, like Bulldozer, like Vivian, like UB Legend, like Tomby, like so many people, in fact, that I have had actually 100 different people on. I know, right?
Yay!
However, I'm still going to the end of the year to try to see how many people I do get on and more. It does not going to end there. I just say that because we're like 4 months out, literally 4 months out, and I'm looking forward to share this with more people again. I have half of September filled, and so getting close to that. But anyway, yes, helping with the engagement factor helps more people see me and more people to have on. And also, if you'd like to be on, or if you'd like to find out where I'm at, there's a link tree down below in the description. Whether you're on YouTube or Rumble, go there. I mostly I more than not communicate through Twitter X because that's where the majority of people I've gotten from Twitter X come from. Some of them from or communicate with. Some have come from my pay it forward streams, like I think Meg did. She's from one of my pay it forward streams.
I
But
am.
yes, and she's lovely for it. Um, but yes, I am looking forward more to the because hold on, I gotta make a bit of a think here. I forgot to erase the other people except yourself. Okay, so now I gotta clean up my board a bit because I still have to show the rest of the week. Oh, there we go. So this is what I have for next week. Right, that's my fill for next week. Right, and so some of them have already been on, like general duality, and some have not. And so the point of the matter is to open up this thing to have whether you're a creator or not, and just have a conversation about whatever. And you just saw an hour of it between me and Meg.
What
Just
the heck did we talk about?
you know what? We'll get back to it. But anyway, I'm looking forward to the other people I can share this with, and again, people who've been on before will be able to. Though for those who become guests, get to be able to come on Dara's Hangout Den, which will mean they'll be able to meet other creators and have that smattering of different people, different perspectives, different niches, or whatever they come in, and that crossover, cross pollination that will happen because that's what that show's going to be about. And yeah, whatever. Um, I heard that. I heard that. I say cross pollination, and people laugh at me. It's like that's the best word I can have. Okay, jeez, make it. You're awful. But anyway, also I'll give you a minute to calm down. But anyway, I will be doing I heard you. Anyway, I'll be doing something in November that will be sort of my own Rumble roundtable. People who haven't been on a guest, people who have been as guests, or people who are just wanting to know a little bit more about Rumble or maybe want to use it. That door will be open to you. It'll only have 7 people on at a time, but they'll switch between each one, and it'll be once a month because it's just because I'm only one person. So anyway, that'll be coming in November. I haven't given a date yet, but we'll do it when it gets closer. And again, many people are invited to come on for that. But anyway, guys, anything that helps the engagement and anything that, and if you'd like to come on, the link tree is there. I really appreciate it all. I really appreciate all you here. I know I don't get the big views like some of the other content creators, but I'm reaching across a lot of different people. She's the one who said holes earlier, so blame that on her. Okay, she's the one who said holes earlier.
I'm sorry, I'm not cross pollinating though, y'all. I'm just saying. That's
That's
a
not where
whole
that's
nother kettle of fish there.
that's that's what it says. Anyway, and thank you, Bill, for that. Yes, I've had Bulldozer on. I've had of course, Meg's been on twice now, actually. Once with other people and now by yourself. So, and that just means Dara's Hangout Den and the Rumble Squared is what it's called. Rumble Squared.
Oh man.
But it's Mr. R, do you still have that Rumble 2 thing that you showed me? Because I don't know how to make that in thing. Because it's not gonna be saying Rumble squared, but it's gonna be like Rumble with like the little 2 at the end. Like yeah. I just don't know how to make it that little 2 thing at the end on texting. I don't is it yeah, I don't know how to make that thing. So anyway, I'll probably ask you how to do that because I don't know how to make uh the how to make that sort of thing and then make it nice because I do want to do that and then make it like silver and green because Rumble is green and whatnot. Silver, green, and metallic, like a metallic sort of metal look. I don't know. You're the graphics person. I defer to you on make that, but that's who I'll ask. So, but anyway, that's the way I'm gonna make that emblem look. Is the rumble and then the two, and then I think the two will be silver and the rumble will be green, and then it'll be like a silver underlined bar, and it'll be like. So I wanted to make it like I wanted to make it look using like the Star Wars, no Star Trek font, slanted, and then um, and then just have the metallic. I hate that. There we go. That's it. That's how you. That's how it's gonna look. That's how it's gonna look. It's gonna look like that. It's gonna be slanted. I want it to have the Star
Thank
Trek
you. Thank you, Bulldozer.
font. Oh, Alt 018. I don't. Is you have to press all those at once? Like
You can
Alt.
always go into your character map, I think, and
I,
uh,
I'm not as good at this stuff.
all right.
Pinky out, good touch. Yep. So no, that's all right. Yeah,
When in doubt, pinky out.
this is the this will be the thing. Rumble, that's Rumble squared. That's what it'll look like. I wanted to have the font of Star Trek interested me to have that Star Trek font look, but then have it slanted. I well oh hey Steve, but then it's gonna have like about to pass out. Don't do that. Go to sleep. Goodness. Yes,
Hi, Steve. Good to have you. Thanks for stopping by.
hit Alt and then hit 0178 at the same time. That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of numbers. Crap, I forgot to rate at the end of my stream. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Bill. It's okay. I don't rate at the end of my stream because I forget, and two because I usually don't have enough anyway. But I mean it's just what it looks like in my head. It looks good slanted, and all that stuff. So that's just me. But yeah, that's what that's what it's gonna look like. Or that's what it looks like, and then I'll look with like the Star Trek font, and then Rumble will be green, the two will be silver, and I think the underlining part will be silver and sort of just like that. But that's just that. I'm not gonna get too fancy with it. So, but all right, well, I'll try that. I'll try that then. But yeah, no, that's I know Lumpy does his own thing, his own roundtable stuff, and that's fine. I'm not trying to take that from him. However, I'm trying to do a more positive, forward thinking for that sort of thing, and all that stuff. But I'll talk about it more when I get closer. I'm not gonna take all this time up with Meg about it. For features, oh well, yeah, I'll just have to figure it out. Just have to figure it out. But it's I've got some time too. I just need to make the look and coloring it. But I'll still ask for I'll still ask if it looks good or not. Uh, the other one is just mastering Rumble. No, Lumpy's is Rumble Roundtable, and then mastering Rumble is a person. It's not a it's not a show, so to speak. I just wanted to do it because I know I'm not going to get Chris's or Rick's attention, but I did want to bring an opportunity to those who either been on the show, have been on the show, or those who are interested in using Rumble because I stream to both YouTube and Rumble, and Lumpy only streams to Rumble, so that is a kind of a confinement. But it's just something that I want to try doing. It's going to be a work in progress throughout, even while people are on the stream. So I have a skeleton frame, but gotta test things out. I'm gonna have a lot of guinea pigs. But anyway, I was I was waiting for a drop in for stuff, but I think Rumble Rick. I don't know anything about that, but you'll be welcome to come on Bulldozer. As will many others. So it's just a way of trying to just bring things forward to a more positive, forward-thinking stance rather than just uh, limiting. So, but well, I'll explain it more when it gets closer. But anyway, Meg, how are you doing over there? You're pretty quiet.
Well, no, I don't. So okay. I'm trying very hard to be very, very respectful
uh,
and to let you finish saying the things that you want to say
you're very
because I've
hospitable.
been told that distracting is bad. So I'm trying not to be distracted.
Well, I thought you would
My
want to throw your own perspective on it, but if you don't, that's fine.
my perspective on how you should do your logo. Well, how you're first how you're seeing your vision. No, no.
Well, no, longest sip ever. That is true. No, I am no. Well, I mean,
It is the
I'll.
longest sip ever, and it's delicious.
I mean, I will ask you on the look of it once I try to make that emblem. But no, just the perspective of doing that sort of thing of the Rumble Roundtable and just the idea of what I'm trying to do.
Um. Okay, so I do want to get back to my rant about
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I apologize. We'll do that and
no, no,
then we'll get.
I will remember. I the rage I can't tell you how annoyed I was with that, but okay. Anyway, but yeah, but okay, so my question would be then, why have on 7 people?
Um,
Are you guys just gonna do you have an actual topic for that, or is it gonna be more free flowing like this? Because
are you asking one question or two questions? Because I'd like to start with one of them first.
well, it's it's twofold questions, but you know, I want to get both of the questions out. Those are my curiosities when it comes to that. You know, I mean, you did talk about it, so let's talk about it.
Oh,
Let's let
okay,
the
okay.
people
Well,
know what's coming
re.
in the future.
Oh, well, then reiterate. I'm just stupendous. Look at me. Okay, reiterate your first question, please, because I lost.
Okay, my first question is,
Yes.
oh, let's do the second one.
Okay.
Is
Well,
it going to be free flowing discussion, or will you have topics?
I'm just gonna pull up and show you what the idea of it's not gonna be exact, but I will share um, kind of the. So you're not gonna like me because of what I use, but anyway, where is it? There we go. So, and I showed this to when I had Putinbot, Kaiju, and Phoenix Electra on. But this is
Mhm,
something going to be like this. 7 people, about 2 hours. I'm not gonna make it exactly that. So that's that.
mhm,
1.0. This I think will mostly be after the first time, just because of the update stuff. But what is that? Chris, each month, one of the 7 participants gets a brief to share. Okay, so something like that. So sharing a positive, a success story, that'll be something. Um, but I think this is more of what Rumble Wins is, and I won't call it that, but we'll get to that point. It'll just be something like this, and then of course we'll go into stuff people would like to see, and then focus on constructive criticism rather than just complaining. And then I think, and of course, this is something for chat. Um, that chat can be involved or give their stuff. So first, it will be talking about a positive experience and or a personal success story, and then maybe something create the creators in one of the 7 or the 7 will want to uh, stuff to have on Rumble or something they like to see focus on, and how the constructive factor for that. And then of course chat will have the opportunity to give their parts and part for that. And then we'll do a closing point where we just summarize stuff, and yeah, just kind of it'll be a bit. This is a bit more formal than what other people do, but I think if it's kind of like it's kind of in the sense of there's a bit of free flowing to it, but there's also a formality to it. Just trying, but it's the first time it's going to be of figuring out what works best and what doesn't. So I'll take some things from here, but it may not end up that way. It's just going to be a bit of trial and error for the first time. But I do have a skeletal frame,
yeah, you have
and
an
then
outline. Okay. Well, no,
what?
that's interesting because I was wondering like what your goal was with that. Bulldozer, I do believe that there will be one. That would be in the wish list, it's just going to come forth in, I mean, it's a nicer way of saying exact same thing. But yeah,
Oh,
so
well,
but
no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't say you can't complain. It's just there are better ways to get things across because
yeah,
who
call
look.
it a wish list.
What do people listen to more? Are they going to listen to you complain more? Or are they going to listen to you give a constructive matter of saying, look, there's this thing going on, and it'd be appreciative if they were able to at least tell us about something working on close to this thing, or if it's coming to. I'm not saying there can't be complaints. It's just there's got to be a more positive output to it rather than just this whole negative
If
aspect because that's what I'd rather do.
and
I
here's
know
the
you're
other thing.
playing. I know. It's just a thought. Again, that's the skeletal frame of it. It's not going to be exactly like that because it's going to be a trial and error thing. What works, what doesn't, and that's where not only will the people who come on as the guest, as the one of the 7 guests,
Ooh, that's a
but
good idea, Mr. R.
like a brain, yeah, something like that. Because there still needs to be a free flowing element to it.
It's
Otherwise, how
okay,
are you going to have
distracted. You can be
ideas?
crazy twice.
Yeah. No, well, I don't know about that. It still needs to keep a form of free flowing because then how will you get different ideas across? However, it does need to have a formal sort of skeletal outline where there does need to be a process. I get it. Lumpy does what's best, he does, and that's great. This is what I'm doing for this. I say 7 because it's just a lot better than 9. It's a lot less than 9,
Oh,
and
you're edging there, my friend. You are edging there.
what do you mean?
You're edging closer and closer to 9. I mean, we started off with like, "Oh, I'm just gonna have 1," and then you're like, maybe it
No,
might be
no,
fun to have 4, and now we're at 7. Moo ha 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 ha.
well,
Dude, I'm picking on you, man. Just
no, 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 no.
accept the joking. It's okay. Hi,
Those are
Adriana.
there are those are different sections. So there's Hangout Den. Yes, I know I've said I don't like the whole 9, and I'm not doing a whole 9. I'm doing 7. The
Not
point of the
yet.
matter though is that there's Hangout Den is a sort of more controlled fact.
I'm sorry. No, I'm reading the chat.
I know. Main topic with some bullet points. Yeah, but yeah, and again, it's going to be free flowing. There's going to be some trial and error stuff. It's going to be as Mr. R said, a brainstorming session,
Mhm.
but it's going to be in the more positive, forward thinking aspect, not the this is what I want. They better do it now. So help me, or I'll leave this platform and I'll call them all BSs and all that stuff. Um, but it's something I would do. But it's something I want to involve people who've not been on Darachat. People who have been on Darachat will have an open invitation. People who have not been on a Darachat will have an open invitation, and people who are interested in Rumble or curious about Rumble will have
Yeah.
an invitation. Because again, I get streaming that sort of stuff just to Rumble. However, we need to show other platforms that hey, there are creators on it thinking about this stuff. Yes, they have complaints, but they're showing in a more positive aspect. Positive. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean they don't have reason behind why they are
Yeah.
upset by this thing or whatever. But at least they're not taking that rantiness and making it just pure negative. There is a negative point out of that, and that's what I like to do is a positive forward thinking emotion for it. I mean, again, it's gonna be a brainstorming session of what works and what doesn't, and a lot of people will. Oh, there he is. Hey, D-pad Chad, stop taking Zeo's stuff, and you forgot a few exclamation points. But yeah, it's tantric chat. No, no distract. Don't do that. That's bad.
Oh
But
no,
yeah,
there's a whole thing that was happening there in the chat. It just
yeah, yeah. I saw it.
but I know you're being sincere, so I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine. But yeah,
But
that's
I think that that's a good I think that it's a good idea, and it is the best way to get your concerns met and
mhm,
heard, rather than, I mean, they do say that the squeaky wheel gets the most gets the grease, but I
yeah.
will also say that the soft answer turns away wrath. So if you present if you present changes that you want, but you present them in a way that makes people mad, they'll kind of go out of their way to not help you, to not do what you want, and they won't listen to you. They'll be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you're just a douche nozzle, so never mind."
yeah,
So, I think that this is actually constructive. I think that it's helpful. I think that it's a good idea to have people actually, and also to like send them, send them the outline first, so that way they kind of are thinking about this beforehand. Like
oh,
what if you could talk to Chris of the long last name, would you actually um what would you say? What would you want them to do? Etc.
Because there were, and I'll give an example of this. There were a lot of people, not a lot. There were some people. So if anyone knows who UB Legend is, I've had him on before, and I've also had Putin Bot, and they're kind of well acquainted and know each other. But UB did get some flack for wanting to just do stuff on Twitch because he's been on Rumble for a while. He wanted to see how Twitch was as a platform and go from there. And some people were kind of some people made jokes about it. Some people were kind of complaining about that or whatever. And I don't know if what he got in DMs because he could have gotten stuff in DMs that were worse. But my thing is that there needs to be a point where we just come at this point of, yes, I use this platform Rumble. I also use YouTube, and I have a reason for that. Why I use why I use more than just one platform. But I also want Rumble to grow. I want it to succeed, and I'm not going to come at the higher ups in such an angry. And I get Putin stuff because he's had issues with support and whatnot, and I believe there's a time and place for bringing that attention up. However, I don't want to come at this in some angry drunken rage hillbilly sort of thing where we nothing against Putin, of course, but I don't want us to coming at this angry. Maybe it won't work. Maybe it won't be heard by some of those at top, and they may never come and stop by and see this stuff. I just want to. One is a place of venting. One is a place of bringing some ideas, and one is a place where we can come together and just bring a positive constructiveness to it because there's a lot of negativity, and some of it rightly so, because of Rumble and all this stuff. But I do want Rumble to succeed, and I do want to at least get to the point where it's on par with YouTube in the sense of not the same thing as YouTube. Don't get me wrong, but in better form or just in the same platitude of knownness that has a well-known name and all stuff. It's getting there, but it's not there yet. And there's a lot of tech stuff that's missing. And it's also a place of congregating data so that people in the chat can give us, oh, this is the stuff that's missing, or this is the stuff I'd like to see. And to a degree, popularity can be a disaster for a platform depending on how they take it, or with any person really. But as well known as YouTube, I should say that. But it will be a place of congregating data of what
Say
people
that
would
5
like
times
to see.
fast.
What?
I said say that 5 times fast.
Congregating. It's that.
Oh, I knew. I knew what I was asking for. I am a
Yeah.
meme. I am sorry. Go ahead.
You ask a lot. But it's just not going to be perfect right off the bat. So don't.
No.
The first one's not going to be perfect. The second one's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a work in process as it goes. And that's what Rumble is like. It's a work in process as it goes. Whether or not anyone from Locals or Rumbles will join is up to them, but the floor will always be open to them. And I hope the guests that do come on will treat them with the same sort of respect they want to be treated with. Again, we're all humans at the end of the day. I get it. When there's some issues we can have with Rumble, that's fine. But let's be positive about it. Let's bring a more constructiveness to it. Let's be the thing that makes a change that isn't exactly like YouTube, because we see what YouTube is. We see what it's become. We see what it does. Let's not become that. And let's not be the people that we complain about, like, oh, all they want to do is talk, and make no change. Well, let's be the opposite of that. Let's make a change. Let's do something with it. And let's go based off. I want to try to go based off data of like what is the majoral thing that people want off of Rumble, because again, people are always going to nitpick and complain about all this stuff, and there's just not enough. Complimentary foot rubs, no. Sorry, Bill, you're out for that one.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's a very good point, Mr. R.
Yeah,
true. I think that it's also helpful for the creators themselves. It's helpful for people to turn their displeasure into something productive, because of the fact that if you actually get ragey, if you actually start complaining like that, it does affect you as a person as well. I think that actually does make a mark on your soul. It makes a mark on you, and it actually can affect the rest of your day. So if you're turning that towards, okay, what can we do to fix this, rather than just, a complaint into the void where you feel
Mm,
powerless,
mm.
I think that it actually can produce better results, even if it doesn't, even if Rumble's like, yeah, we have like 2 million things on our to do list, and that's
Yeah,
like 3 million.
yeah,
So yeah, even if it doesn't get seen that day, it'll at least be good for those people to kind of hear the things that are going on and things like that. So anyway,
right.
that's
And
that's my 2 cents on it, but it seems like a good idea.
yeah, and
That's
it's
why I made the
also
feature community. It's more of a space for me to get out ideas. Cool.
yeah,
Channel the
yeah.
rage. Channel it for good and not for
I'm
evil.
not I'm not an angry person by nature. It's just I've seen those kind of things and it's wasted energy. And there's times where anger is a necessity. There is.
Yeah.
However, there is times where people use their anger in such, and you see it on social media where it's just balls off the wall sort of in the wrong space. And I
Mhm.
want to do this thing that's going to be more, hey, I hear you, all right, so let's talk about what it is you see. It's also, I guess it could be a space of venting, but it's also of take a deep breath and let's get going rather than just wasting time on complaining, because it does seem like a lot of people do that. Even if I don't get seen by anyone at Rumble or locals or whatever, even if they never stop and chat, this will be something that everyone, including people who are interested in
Yeah.
wanting to use Rumble, that will be the opportunity. Because again, I do stream to both YouTube and Rumble, and I think we want to interest people from other platforms to come and try it or use it as a multi-platforming space. Because again, you see the troubles with Twitch and Kick and YouTube and so many other platforms. We want to say, oh look, Rumble's not perfect. We already know that it's not perfect, but we are doing something that you can come, you can instantly monetize, you can do all this stuff, and there's still a lot to be done, but it can be done in a constructive way, and that's the path I want to take it, a positive constructive way, or was
And I
it
think it
constructive criticism, I think is the word, constructive criticism, I think it's that.
yes, yes it can. Rage can be righteous rage can be good, and I think that righteous rage actually should be fueled. We actually do need to be angry at things that are evil and bad. We shouldn't waste our rage though on something that's merely annoying.
Right.
And also, I think that having a bunch of people who are able to talk about something that bothers them may actually be a way to see whether or not that's actually a valid concern. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
something that annoys you is like, yeah, but that's because that's how life or the internet work. We're able
Yeah.
to that's not the thing that you're wanting is not reasonable, and
Mm.
sometimes that's a thing too. So not just seething on something inside is also a good thing. Rumble app on the phone can be such a pain. The thing about the Rumble app on the phone is that I can't rewind a video. I used to
Yeah.
be able to, and then I stopped being able to. I don't know if I'm able to again, but
Mm.
yeah. So that's kind of a thing sometimes.
Yeah, I'll say
But
disable more. No. Oh, there. Okay, I got it. I was just making sure. No, and I had that, Bill. I had that thing too happen where it was either the thumbnail wasn't working or it wouldn't or wouldn't schedule. It's working now though. So there was an update on Rumble Studio where they were putting the category bit outside of the where you have the rewindable thing, and they updated that too, where it's the not latency, but the updated uh, the higher graphics thing or whatever, because for Mumble Studio you can set to make the stream DVR or not DVR, or rewindable or not rewindable, and all that stuff. And I do get the complaint from, like, so one of the creators I follow, Nerdratic, had made the stuff like, well, why don't you just make DVR automatic, because YouTube has DVR that can be set. I mean, it can be set in their own studio, but more than that, it's just automatically on. So it should be an option to set off. And what is Chad saying? Also, a lot of issues aren't always on Rumbles either, especially with the app. It's very, yeah, that is true too. Mostly the Google side, because I know that the YouTube sync thing was shut down by Google. So that is the thing right there.
that's
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. I didn't notice that was the case.
and that's a good point, Bulldozer. I am noticing that from
That's
the
true.
chat. That
Yeah,
would be cool, but
yeah, that would be nice. But that's more of like, and it would be nice if there was a ability way to have a private chat, internally in Rumble Studio, but who knows
Yeah,
if
like
they'll
on
add that in.
StreamYard.
Yeah, private chat and be able to chat with people from studio, but who knows? Again, these places are running off the API of the other platforms, so
Oh, wait.
and yeah, yeah,
Oh, no,
that's
that's inviting people. Never mind.
yeah, yeah. Maybe I just haven't found it. Yeah, I don't uh
Yeah,
I
back
don't
in
know.
chat.
Back in chat, yeah, because it'd be nice for that because we can't really chat or
Yeah.
make comments
But,
with
I
it, but
mean
it's getting there.
even StreamYard has that to where they have back-end chat, but you can't
Mm,
see the chat you can't see the chat from all of your streamings inside of there. So, actually, I find this to be way, way better,
mm,
Um, if you need to say something to somebody, yeah, that'd be nice to have a
mm.
back-end chat, but, um, I think that it's better at least especially for, like, a one-on-one conversation or something, or if you're a
Yeah,
streamer, to
mm,
have the chat just, like, in the studio here, um,
yeah, and
from
there's
all of your streaming things. That looks I mean, if you had to pick one, I'm going with what Rumble chose for now, at least. But, yeah, both is better. More options is always good, I think.
and again the thing with gamers and whatnot. I know that's going to be a thing for a while. I don't think StreamYard is used for gaming, but again, uh,
I don't know.
I know but again at
I
this
just use
point,
OBS.
yeah, uh, yeah, and locals mobile becoming more integrated too. That will be something. It'll be interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll
that's
be
pretty
interesting.
cool.
Because with locals integrated, that could mean that there will be members only streams or supporter only streams, because that's something that Rumble doesn't have. And also with having Rumble membership and locals membership, it kind of makes it pointless to have a Rumble membership. But with this integration, it could change that. So we'll see as time goes on. But again, this is all stuff that can be talked within that sort of thing and just brought up. And of course, it'll be like it'll be as in the thing of taking minutes or not like that, but taking minutes. I mean, it'll be recorded, but going over and all this stuff, and it's just an opportunity to open up. And I think the biggest point will be opening it up to people who are interested in Rumble and don't haven't used it or have been discouraged, and we can say, hey, what is this thing that discourages you from using Rumble or this or that, and maybe we can help with trying to clear things up to the best of our knowledge. I can only do so much, and just like anyone else in chat, we can only do so much. But yeah, as long as it's positive and forward thinking and just having fun with it, that's all that matters to me about it, and that's what we're going to try in November. But anyway, you were going to talk about a rant you had from earlier with the AI stuff.
It wasn't in regard to AI. It was,
Oh,
so I don't remember what exactly led up to it, but it was something to the
neither do
effect
I.
of,
Rage baiting, something like that. I get. I don't know.
no, no, it wasn't even rage baiting. It was honestly, um, listen to me or do what I say or something like that, and the
Do as
comment
I
was,
say, not as I do, sort of thing. Is that what you're trying to say?
no, no,
Oh,
I didn't say it. It was, I think my comment was something to the effect of, "Listen to me," or something like that. It was something silly,
listen
and
to me.
yeah, there was "Well, that's what your husband's for," and I was like, "You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
alright, so here's the
Happy wife,
thing."
happy life. Yeah.
Yeah, and which does lead over into the happy wife, happy life thing, and it's not a you thing because I know that this is something that is popular in the zeitgeist. It is what is expected, it is what is accepted in our
Right.
current society,
Mm.
but I'm going to say that that is terrible, that is toxic, and it is awful. We should not have it to where yeah, that's right. I'm gonna sip my tea. I'm gonna sip my tea, raise my skeptical eyebrow, and be like, "Alright, here we go."
So
So,
what you're
I do
saying
not
is that
think
you transitioned, is what you're saying, to, to
I
your
am
alter
saying that
ego.
I have donned my I have put on my mask, and I have pulled up my hood. And, yeah, so I think that it is important that people were saying, "Oh, are you gonna, tell him what to be tell him, you're gonna tell him what to do." That's what people were telling me when we were going places and, "Oh, yeah,
Mm,
we're looking for things for our wedding." They go, "Oh, you're just gonna tell him what to do, huh?" I'm like, "No. No, I am absolutely not. I expect my husband to be a fully grown adult. Like, I do not plan to be his mother. I do not
yeah.
plan to tell him what to do. I do not plan to tell him where to get off. That is not my job at
Mm,
all. Not even kind of. And I think that it's so terrible that we have a lot of women who will go, "Yes, girl, that's me. Mhm." That's awful. That is
no, yeah.
bad.
You have to
and
say yes,
it's
queen. Yes,
yeah,
queen.
I'm sorry. Yes, queen. I'm sorry. I'm not up on it, okay? It's just I just know the sentiment. The sentiment is
YOLO.
that's right, girl, snapping and all that jazz. And I think that it's bad. I think that it's
Yeah.
terrible. I think that's how we've gotten to such a fractured society to where we've
Mm,
gotten women who are not being taught to not use their powers for good and to put down their because the thing is that both men and women have
mhm.
a good side and bad side.
Yes.
Every person is a double-edged sword. Every
Yes.
good thing that you have about your character, every good thing that you're naturally born with can be used for good or for evil.
Yep.
And the thing is that I remember I was talking to somebody and I said that you could think of men and women, men as being like the Titan class and women as being like the mage class. And they're just not the same. So when we
Mhm,
go bad, it's different.
mhm,
And when women go bad, we become naggy, we
mhm,
become bossy,
mhm.
we make people miserable, like
Right.
people say, "Oh, well, when men go bad, they'll blow up the world and they'll cause wars." I'm like, "Yeah, when men go bad, men will kill you. When women go bad, they make you want to kill yourself." So
Wait a second.
and it's true though. You've seen that, like the dead-eyed look of a husband who's just listening to his wife going, "Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes,
Yes.
dear." Yeah, just anything to make this woman stop yelling at me and stop fussing at me. That's not good. That's not okay. That
Word.
if any woman is saying like, "That's right, he needs to listen to me." Honey, you're the bad guy in this story. You're the villain. This is not awesome, okay?
You should make
So
it sound like it's the Jewish, like, oh, this woman, she won't stop complaining. I do all the things she asks. It's always hey.
and this is the thing that she's never going to be happy. And the thing is that honestly, you'll find that women, when they get what they want in this way, they're never happy. They're actually less happy. They're actually more miserable. They have no respect for their husband because he does what they say. And
I agree.
it's bad. It's honestly bad, and it makes your husband miserable. It makes him not like you.
Yeah.
And I don't know about other women out there, but I actually want my husband to like me as a
Yeah.
person. I want him to love me, but I also want him to like me, and those are not the same things. So
Oh.
yeah, I know, right? Isn't that great? I am the sweetest. Anyway, so that's the end of my rant, though. But like,
Well, I mean, you're sweet until you're not, and then it's a totally different story.
I'm sweet until I'm salty. This is true. This is true.
Sweet until she's sour. That's right, kids.
I said
No,
salty. It's
salty.
different.
Well, salty, sour. After a while, just it. Yeah. Um, although it goes great with a margarita. But anyway,
I've never understood margarita. I don't understand alcohol though, so there's that.
neither do I. But I watch people get drunk, and I'm like, are you certain that's how you want to do this?
Yeah.
Um, but that also lends itself to the whole relationship factor, right? Because you have this battleground of ideas, ideals, how one thing should be or shouldn't be, and of course, the red pill, whatever, all this stuff. That's why we got her for glass.
That's the show that we do on Fridays, gaming with a side of salt.
Okay, I thought he was trying to say grass, but he was doing it like a child, like glass. We brought her on with glass, or he had a lip issue. It's okay. It's okay, Chad. We're gonna treat you like the champ you are. Anyway, and then he never came out again. But no, I think that's sort of the thing that happens with the whole relationship factor, because again, we're in this climate of human social interaction, and now that we have technology, right, all this stuff, we've whether good or bad, we've elevated human interaction on the relationship level, and it seems to lend itself credence to the whole the what is it, the birth rate stuff, right? You'll see
Well,
either
yeah, if people don't like each other, they're not going to um be
yeah,
intimate with each other because they hate each other. Like,
yeah.
I mean, unless the drugs are that good, like you hate this person, you're not gonna stick Mr. Sparky into, that place, because you hate her. Uh, from what I understand, that part is slightly precious to y'all. So, you don't go putting precious in poison. I mean, that just seems like a
just
terrible idea, and I
just
think that's that is explaining part of it. Yes.
Just the implication I'm getting from this alone, it feels like I'm getting the worst birds and the bees conversation ever. Just
I think that it's perfectly good sense, honestly. I mean, I think that more people need to say, don't put precious inside of poison. Like that's a good idea. I think that more dudes actually need to hear that. So
but
that's
who's the
why Sigel is
precious and who's
yelling
the
by
poison?
precious.
Oh, that's my precious. That's no, that just looks wrong, Chad. No, but then that becomes who's the precious, who's the poison. Both could be poison. Both could be precious.
Oh,
The
this
man.
is true. This is true. I was speaking primarily about men. If you don't go, because the thing is that primarily men are the pursuers. And in spite of all of the feminist movements and everything like that, even now you're starting to see women, because women shamed men for doing it,
Mm.
because that's what you do when you're powerful and you're a toxic girl. You actually just you make fun of guys for doing what they should do. Anyway, and then you see them saying, "Why don't guys come up to women anymore?" And the reason and the thing is that that's actually what men usually do. Men are typically the ones who go after, they go out, they hunt, they search. And the women are the people who are the keepers of the precious stones, etc. And that's the way that it actually that we're just temperamentally set up. Um I got shot down hard. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But the thing
Don't
is
no
that
you
if she doesn't like you, it's kind of just it's kind of good to know at the beginning,
don't
right?
don't apologize for someone else's issues, especially another woman's, because then that makes you kind of it almost makes you seem like you're one trying to be responsible for others or
Oh
other
no, no.
females.
You know what? Okay, so here's my thing with the English language.
Right.
I got a lot of bones to pick apparently. But here's my problem with the English language. We
Uh-huh.
need another word for I am sorry that that happened to you, not I am apologetic for something I did to you. Like I mean I'm sorry like, "Oh, I'm sad that happened." But that's like so many words to say. So like, "Ah, bro, I'm sorry. Like that sucks," Like it's like that, not like, "Oh, I'm sorry on behalf of my kind, etc." No, I don't take responsibility for that. I wasn't even kind of into that. So yeah, like an
I've not had
inbard
games
heart.
since I was teen. Well, we would hope the game got better as you got older, because having game as a teen is sort of the discovery stage, and that's usually a bit different. That's more of never mind. I don't know where I was going with the thought. Uh, my thing it becomes that each relationship, man, woman, at this point it's going to become with animals soon enough. Um, my thing is that the relationship between men and women is going to be specific to that relationship, because everyone is different. Every person has a different perspective on the world. Their environments, uh, their environment. What's the word? Their environments. It's not instigate, but it affects their internal. And so you're going to have
Yeah,
things like the
societies exist, cultures exist, they're real.
lots of things real, but like stuff with like the red pill stuff, people are going to see things that they agree with and all this stuff, and then they're going to take from that, and then they're going to use the data, whether made up or real or not. They're going to use the data to try to they're going to confirmation bias. They're going to confirmation bias their stuff to make their stuff real. And there are some stuff that is true, that both women and men do, but at the end of the day, though, we're all stuck here, right? We're all in this blue ball, all right? It's a big blue ball going around a golden sun, and there is no way of getting off it. Elon is still taking his time to get there. You're not going to get to multiplanetary in his lifetime. It's just not happening right now.
Yeah, well, even if you get to Mars, if you're dealing with humans, humans gonna human, and that's
I'm not talking about it like that, and I got nothing. Hey, I tell you what, I'm talking to him right now. I've been talking to a lot of I don't think I've talked to a lot of single women, but mostly married women, and that's probably not the best thing I should.
but I think that he's talking about a different kind of talking, my guy. Not like
Oh,
talking like this, talking
oh,
like, "Hey, how you doing?" kind of talking.
I no, you gotta do
That's
it
what
like,
he means.
how you doing? No,
Well,
how you doing?
I'm not a dude. I don't
You're not
know.
Joey. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm
You're not Joey.
absolutely not. I'm not Italian. I'm not from New
You
York.
could, you can try though. Like, hey, I'm walking here. Come on, get out of my face. blue ball. Oh goodness, dear Lord, let's not bring this in conversation. We're already at a stage of explosion anyway. Um,
We've already talked about poisons and preciouses, and like it's wow.
I think I think the rule of that we all know is don't do crazy, that sort of thing. I think that's
Mhm.
a one let's do. But in essence, I think men and women kind of poison them own selves, where it's their own side or the other side, and they create these divides because we've gone to the point where we don't really, or where we don't truly need to survive each other for survival. We're not hunting and gathering anymore. We go to a grocery store, or we rely on a government, or so on and so forth. At the end of the day, though, we have all these other things where we're past what we had to literally survive on each other. We picking we can go to the frontier days, whatever. Um, we're at a point where that's not a necessity anymore. We're not forced to have to survive with each other. We're sort of like, maybe you. And so now it's
Well,
on a different
yeah,
basis.
affluence does sort of, and when you're not worried that you're going to starve to death, it does kind of change your
Yeah,
perspective.
yeah,
We are free now to pursue things for the sake of fun and for the
mm,
sake of just enjoyment rather
mm.
than, yeah, but I don't feel like starving tomorrow. So, I have to go kill the caribou or the wildebeest or whatever it is that's out there. I just like saying wildebeest because it's just funny to say. Caribou's kind of funny too anyway. But
Yeah, word.
yeah, this is true. That's true, but I think that it need not be that way. It is not our affluence that
Right.
causes us to be toxic and horrible to each other. It is the fact that we're not actually acknowledging the fact that both men and women can be terrible,
Hmm.
and that both men and women need to fight their natures. And when we don't do that, then we have a problem. And if only one side is being told, yeah, you have to suppress the worst parts of your nature,
Mm,
and sometimes being told you need to suppress even the good parts of your
mm,
nature to protect, your nature to be aggressive when need be, and you need to channel that. You need to be what is it? Peaceful, not harmless. There's a huge difference between the two, and we are
mm,
teaching men in our culture to be harmless, and that is dangerous. We
mm,
cannot have a society that is full of harmless men. We need peaceful men. That's not the same thing. And we need women who are actually basically mages of magic. We need to actually give people the thing is that our magical powers will make you want to either
but
run through a wall and save the world
mm,
or kill yourself. Like we can use either one of these magics, and we have to choose which one. And we
mm,
haven't been teaching ourselves or
right.
teaching each other that that's what you have great power as a woman. It's not the
Mm,
same power that men have, but we do have great power. And our power is literally to be the inspiration for men to build great cities and to protect and to do all of the titan crap that men do. I don't know, y'all lift stuff, right?
right.
But
I don't know. Ask your husband. Yeah. See, well, I mean, safety nets are there for a reason as well. I just want to say, you do know that the shortening of your mages of magic is basically saying mom, right? Become a mom.
what do you mean?
You said mages of magic,
Oh.
right? For women, you said women need to become mages of magic, and I'm saying shorten it. The anagram, whatever it's called, the
Well,
shortening of.
that is how we get it. That is how we get a good and healthy society. Because if you don't have moms, you will not have a society in like I don't know 20 years. So yeah, it's just all going to be dead. So if we don't have moms, we will not have a society. We will not have humans anymore. Ergo, no society of humans. I mean,
If
you'll have
we
societies of animals, I guess.
if you don't have people coming together and willing to whatever, willing to put, do the commitment and all that stuff, and all this, then yeah, you will see human extinction. But I think in essence that's going to be that's either it's going to be something that's been under the radar, sort of that under influence, or it's going to be something that
Mhm.
people just choose because that's the way. And we can't go up to someone and say you must choose this thing because we don't want humanity to die out. You can't. It has to be an organic, natural thing. And we can talk about, oh, birth rates going down, birth rates going down. Okay, so what are you doing to change the thinking of? That's the issue. Instead of, we need to change the thinking to a Well,
I'm sorry.
no,
I'm reading the chat. I gotta stop
no,
doing
no.
this.
And there's
I
something I
think
want to. There's something I want to. I'll bring up that D-pad Chad said, but let me. I just wanted to. Now I don't even remember the thought I was going to have. Um, it's just both sides need to come together and have the conversation, have the discussion. Because without one side, you're not going to have the whole, and that
Well,
includes
yeah,
both sides.
what's the sound of one hand clapping? I concur. But also I will say that I
It,
appreciate the desire to both sides the argument.
mm,
But I think that we should also acknowledge what is actually happening. And that is that, I mean, yes, both sides can go bad. I think that both men and women have things in their nature that they have to fight to control.
mm,
Men, like I said, men can destroy the world. Women will
so
just
can
make
women.
women will make sure that there is no world worth keeping and make you want to kill yourself. Um, like we will make if we go bad, we make the world ugly. We won't destroy it. We'll just make it so ugly that it's not worth fighting for. But so and someone said a lot of women have had their egos pumped too much. Our society
Pumped.
has decided that we are not going to um that we're not going to call women out when they go bad. We're just going to say that it's men's fault. Everything is men's fault. That's
Mm,
what's going on right now in the culture. There was probably a time before I was alive, most likely, when it was the other way around, where women were dumped on and men were pumped up and not called out for their bad behavior. Right now, our culture is just on a different sort of swing. So I think that both sides can go bad. Just right now, it seems like everybody's the popular culture is dumping on women, I mean on men, and it's empowering women. And the thing that's actually dangerous and kind of scary is that we are getting what they call red pill, but it's not really red pill. I like the way Quartering puts it. He calls it the cringe pill, where they're
mm,
just like, yeah, well, you just got to sleep with a lot of women and be a complete douche nozzle. I'm like,
mm,
that's not the way that we make a society, y'all. This is stupid. This is the other side of toxic. This is also bad.
mm.
This is not good. You understand that, right? Being bad does not make the other side good and better. You
Yeah.
know, they're like, well, we have to fight back. And I'm like, this is not how you're going to get to good society. It depends on what you want. If you want to get even, sure, that's what you do. But we're not trying to get even. We're trying to get to a good society. And
Mm,
trying to get even or just trying to blame one person and saying, well, it's all their fault. Well, maybe it is. So how are you going to fix it? Not how are
mm,
you going to get even? Not how are you going to protect yourself? But
mm,
how are you going to fix it? You have to be strong, you have to be brave and and work at that. And it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's
mm.
absolutely not.
Right.
But, you know. All right, I think I'm done with that rant for now.
and
For
and
now.
the and the other portion of that is how much is it purported by media and content creation, because you have the other side too of the instigation of being influenced by the external force, because again we have
He
this
is a star.
Jordan Peterson is great and stuff. Yeah, but he's for some he's kind of fallen off the rail wagon a bit, at least for
Well, he
some.
started talking about other things. When he was talking
Oh, come
specifically about
on.
men's issues, it was different. Um,
Say, but the problem of it is those that some safety nets are put in order for that, right? Like you don't your goal as a parent is you don't want your teens. There's a reason why there's a safety net when you're as a parent and you have teens. You don't want all your kids going around as a teenager bumping against each other and then you have unplanned pregnancies. There is a form of safety net, a reason why there's a safety net. But again, it's we again, I'll go back to what I was saying earlier of how we create our own problems and we also create our own solutions. This is no different. We create our own problems by purporting it, by making money off the content of and all this stuff. Yes, we can talk about it all day long, but then what do you do with it with after the fact? And with and where was it at? And with what Deepak was saying earlier, what's the difference between men and using technology to replace women? Right? Because that thing with the whole dolls and stuff is going out there now.
yeah, it's gonna happen.
It
If
with
women aren't if women aren't careful, because the thing is that we've enjoyed the privilege of being in this position to where we are actually the guardians. You know, we're the guardians of whether or not this thing is going to happen. It's y'all's job, typically speaking. It's y'all's job to actually pursue. It's men's job to pursue, and women decide whether or not this is going to go down. That's how it's been. That's how society has been.
Oh.
That's how you see in the animal kingdom, et cetera, ad nauseum.
Oh, if we're
And
gonna use the
so,
Animal Kingdom, that's gonna be a lot of mishammerings with that one.
well, I mean, this is just naturally how we are, and
Right.
the women are the ones who are the gatekeepers. But the thing is that if guys aren't our guys are like, yeah, I found something easier, better, and
Yeah.
I don't like you anywhere yeah, I found something that's easier and that's better.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden they don't need to get to past your barrier because they don't want you at all.
Yeah.
And
It
that will be that will be the absolute destruction, and it'll be kind of our fault because of the fact that we became so gross that men
Mhm.
were like, "Yeah, I'll go to a doll. I'll go to something easier. You're not worth fighting for."
Yeah. The men and women will use technology to create a bigger divide. And you already see it now. You see stuff with like for women, right? Mostly the story is that women can have more gaming option on stuff like Tinder and all these apps because men want them to a degree, the hyper gaming of it stuff or whatever. And then you were coming to the men's side of it's like, well, if you're gonna have all these kind of red pill conversations and black pill conversations, all this stuff, then it's better just to do something of the path of least resistance is to go something that's not going to, and as Deepak Chad to like the divorce court, getting sued or putting in jail because you talked to a woman. Yes, you can have the other argument where it's like, well, you won't know until you get there. But again, people will shut off their brain to certain things and they'll go, I mean, we're not past the point where we aren't contrived by our own biases. Hello, everyone is affected by a confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance. We all have that. We have a whole list of fallacies and biases and all this stuff that psychology was made to pursue to figure out. Our brains are not perfect. We have things called false memories and whatnot, and human relations is no different in that regard, where we're going to continue to use the things to make our paths of least resistant. Why? Because the harder what something gets, the the worse the worse it makes it for. And I know relationships, marriage, they require commitment, but when you throw all these other things into it, it's like, if I'm going to get sued or if I'm going to get left behind, right? Men and women will get, if they get in a relationship and then all of a sudden you have a kid involved, and now the other person is left, whether it be a man or woman. It's like, why would I get involved with someone when that person left me when we had a kid with each other and all this stuff? There's so many variables to this equation of human relationship that it it feels like it's an unsolvable ordeal. And
I don't think that it is though. I don't think that it is, but I do think that it's going to be hard. I think that it's going to be
it's gonna
difficult.
be, it feels, I said feels like, not that it is unsolvable. It feels like it's unsolvable, and the feeling is what's going to carry people to push into the divide with technology stuff more and more, because the feeling is this feels it's unsolvable. Okay, who are the people who are doing the opposite? Who are people doing the positive construction factor of like, okay, I hear you stuff, but let's move forward. Let's get to a better position. It's not much, because a lot of stuff gets purported for content creation. A lot of stuff gets purported to whatever. It, to get into the matter of this whole um, rabbit hole is to go down a is to go down the mathematical equation of it's easily solved. That's a perspectual thing. It's not an easily solvable
well,
thing, because you're going to have outliers. That's the difference,
well,
is you're going to have outliers to this issue.
well.
It is painful, yes.
Let me say that because it's painful, that will make it hard. The thing
Yes.
is that it's not hard because, like, like solving a math problem is hard. Well, not all math is hard. Like solving the high level algebra is hard, where it basically looks like a sentence, and they're
Let's
like,
throw calculus
define
into that
three, and I'm like,
because,
I don't know. I
yeah.
liked calculus and trig, but I didn't
Oh,
like
goodness.
algebra at all. Anyway, sorry. But the thing is that it's going to be hard because of the fact that we are human, and human
Mm,
beings want to get their own way. Human beings want to be petted and stroked and told that they're lovely. Human beings want to think that they're always right. Human beings don't want to do the hard work. We want the path of least resistance. We don't want to be brave. We don't want to be strong because these things are hard.
mm,
So it's going to be hard because of the fact that it's painful.
mm.
We try to avoid pain at all costs.
Yeah.
And we are not teaching people that life is hard. Yeah. I know. Shut up. But
Yeah.
but we are not teaching people that you have to fight in this life. We're teaching people that no, life should always be fun. It should always be a party. You should never feel bad. Nah, dude, that's not how it works. It
Mm.
absolutely isn't. And the sooner that we're able to accept that and to say, you know what, you're going to have to strive because that's the way to get fulfillment. That's the way to actually make a good world. That's the way to make a good person. That's the way to actually have a soul worthy of actually existing.
What
Not to
and
say
it,
that you should nerf life causes. Absolutely. I think that's a perfect way to describe what we've got going on right now in our society. We're living nerf life.
no pain, no gain. Yeah, there's idioms all abounding, guys. There's so many idioms. My
And they're good ones though. I mean, we the thing
yeah
is that we kind of like we go, yeah, yeah, I've heard it before, but yeah, but have you actually applied it though? And we're not applying things because we've heard them before, because we get jaded. And I think that that's a problem. I think that yeah, we've heard a lot and we're so sophisticated that we get weak.
yeah. Well, and we tend to not live by example, but rather live by what more of what is said. Again, we have the red pill stuff and whatnot. But anyway, it is the top of the hour again, and we have the solution in our own history. If you look at the past, you see the policies that have failed. Yeah, that's trial and error. I wouldn't say nuclear family is a full solution either, because we can go back to that time and find there were some issues there too. So I
Well,
wouldn't say
there
that.
there will to be fair, there will always be issues, but it
Yeah,
won't always necessarily be systemic or wide scale societal. It'll be specific problems rather than general problems. I think that that's it. But with the whole not where we're just trying to live lives that are nerfed and lives that are free of pain and devoid of problems, and we're
yeah.
not really acknowledging our souls and
Mm.
that we actually do need to strive for something deeper. We become what C.S. Lewis referred to as the men without chests. We have these giant heads full of all of this knowledge, but we have no heart, we have no soul.
Uh, Jeez. Yeah, I hear they like to throw the ball and say, "Hey, look, he's got the ball." Um, and yeah, I get that. It's just the there's not a real one solution to the multivariate problem, because it requires doing a lot of different things in order to change that. It requires a lot of heavy lifting, and the more and more we continue on not doing any heavy lifting right now, it gets worse and worse, and then you'll have people more on the path of least resistance, more people just getting into the convenience of things, and more and more and more. And there
I
will
think
be outliers. There will be outliers,
yeah.
but at the end of the
I
day,
think I think that's I think that's the danger of technology. The danger of technology is that it makes things easy, and when things get easy, you forget that life is hard. Because the thing
that's
was easy that makes you think that all of life and all of its struggles are hard. No, you're still going to have everyday courage. You're still
mm,
going to have to actually be responsible. You're still going to have to find your purpose and actually fulfill that purpose. And that part is actually hard, even
mm,
though, yes, driving to the store is easier than walking 3 miles.
mm,
But I think we were better before smartphones. Yeah, but the thing is that there's they everything that we discover, everything that we create is going to be a two-edged sword, like a
yep,
sword. A
yep,
sword is a two-edged sword. A
yep.
gun is a two-edged sword. Um,
Yes, except if it's a katana. If it's a katana, it's not a two-edged sword. It's a one-edged sword.
this is true. This is true. A katana is not a two-edged sword. But you understand the idiom. But yeah, but like cars are great inventions, but also, well, now we're fatter. Uh, we've I heavy lift wherever I go.
To do number one,
Um,
oh goodness,
but
a
I
gun that
think that
shoots sword.
hey,
Look,
that's in an anime and it's fantastic.
oh goodness. But I
Well,
do.
no, it's not a gun that shoots swords. It's a sword that actually is a gun as well. It's like a gun sword. It's very
Oh,
cool. Anyway, I'm sorry.
that's
Top of the hour.
no, that's
You wanna talk.
Ruby. That's Ruby. No, Ruby has a scythe and it's a gun as well. So there's that. Um,
Oh, that's not no, not that's barely anime though, bro. That's what is that?
it was inspired
RWBY?
by. It was inspired by though. So, but yeah, you're not too far off. But I do think it's the top there, and I think we're gonna close up. But I do wanna look over this question with you and kind of go over it. So,
Sure.
Mr. R asks, were we better off before the internet? Now the internet, like you said, is one of those things that's been built by humans, and that's a double-edged sword. But the real question is, were we were we better off before the internet? And I don't know. I was born.
Yes and
I
no.
was born. I was born past the time of the internet, and I guess that is the answer is yes and no because people weren't able to communicate as easily as we were as are now. I mean, dial up didn't help, but
It's yeah. I
dial up
mean,
would not work with this.
I mean that conversations like this cannot happen without the internet. The information that we have more access to more information than we've had. Oh, this is where Meg is. This is where Meg is.
Yeah,
It's
Zeo.
Saturday and she's having a deep philosophical conversation. Well, I don't know if it's deep and philosophical at this point, but we're
It
just talking about whether or not the internet was a mistake, I suppose. Or what if we were better off before the internet. And I think that
yeah.
yes and no, because of the fact that we have the ability for more information. We
It's
are
not
not
even a.
using it to its full. Um, well, I think that would be like an omni-edged sword because
Yeah,
every
true.
side can cut.
Yeah.
But I think that we have more access to information. So before,
Mm.
if someone lied to you, you would not know. Now you can.
Government.
So
We'll use that
I
as
think
the.
that we've lost the locality though, and I think that
Yeah.
we actually the things that we gave things up. It wasn't the internet's fault, but we absolutely did give things up that we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
that's the thing. We have to do the hard work would be finding what's important and what we need to keep. And the thing
mm.
is that like I think that that's one of the things that bothers me so much about the what has been unburdened by what can be unburdened by what has been besides the fact that it's basically a Hallmark card and I hate it. But also the problem is that it's very let the past die, kill it if you have to. It is
Mm.
ingratitude from all of the things that we learned before. And the thing is that when you just toss that out, you toss the baby out with the bathwater. You lose the good things that we had. We had community. We don't have that now. Now we have this epidemic of loneliness. Now we have
Mm.
these people who don't like each other, don't know how to be good people, don't know how to talk to anybody or anything. Yes, the increase of knowledge does increase sorrow, and this is true. But the things that you become wise through sorrow as well. So I think that the internet can be. I mean, if you're just happy and frivolous all the time, it's because you don't know what's going on.
True.
And if you
Ignorance
don't know
is
what's
bliss.
going on, yeah, if you don't know what's going on, then you can't make for the world to be a better place.
Yeah.
So I think that's that. So I think that we have basically actually taken the Kamala Harris way of thinking, where we've tried to kill the past. We've ignored the things that we held true, and we didn't. And because of the fact that we didn't have to do things that we did have to do when we were younger, not younger, but when technology wasn't quite as advanced, we have lost our neighbors. We have lost the locality. My parents used to live in I grew up in Southern California,
Mm.
and my parents lived in New York here all the time, and
Mm.
they were just it's it is it's one of the loneliest places,
Mm.
honestly. And you're surrounded by people, but you don't trust your neighbors. You're terrified of your neighbors.
Mm.
um there is no community here. Like it really, yeah, all over basically I grew up all over SoCal, but when my formative years were in the heart of Los Angeles, and I'm talking the dodgy pot. Like we were in the middle of the Rodney King riots, basically,
Oh.
which was, yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, yeah, all of our neighbors decided to, it was a great idea to basically protest by setting our own stores on fire and then stealing from them. And then they started
Mm.
wondering, hey, why doesn't anybody want to have stores in here? It's because they're racist. No, dude, it's because you suck. But have you ever talked to like I totally have. It's like the most fun.
For
But I
sure.
think, yeah. But
Dog.
I think that I think the thing is that we, because everything is so close and you can live inside of your boxes, you you don't talk to your neighbors. You don't talk to actual people. But all of a sudden my parents they finally sold their house and they moved out to Kansas.
Mm.
Nowheresville, Kansas. We're talking like maybe 500 people in their town.
Mm.
And all of a sudden they have all these friends. They have all these neighbors. They're learning actual life skills. It's crazy. And the thing is that when they got out of the box, they suddenly discovered all of these things that we had lost as in our metropolitan way of life. So I don't
Right.
know if it's the internet. I mean, the internet is part of it, but it's also, as we get more and more metropolitan, we also have more problems. Anything
Mm.
that allows you to be in to be in a box and not interact with other people is going to be a danger. And it's one that you have to be cognizant of. We just took the internet and didn't think about, we didn't
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she froze. She froze. Oh no, guys. Oh
actual
no. Oh, there
society,
she is.
loudest voices.
You froze for a minute there, so I heard nothing of what you
Oh,
said.
dang. Dag nabbit. I was just basically saying that the
Okay, go,
internet was
got
is a
it.
good thing, but the thing is that we didn't take into account the dangers that come with it, which would
We
be that you can lose your neighbors.
we just we didn't we
The
didn't
danger.
lose we didn't lose our neighbors. We just replaced them with something else.
Well, I meant that you lose your actual physical neighbors, and you got people who are anonymous online, and
Mm.
when we got an anonymity, and this is from someone who is actually a VTuber, well, not VTuber, but a PNG
PNG,
tuber, which is
yeah, there
even
you go.
yeah, a PNG tuber, which is just
Mm.
so much longer to say. A ping tuber, let's put it that way. Yes, we did
Bing.
lose our sense of community because of the fact that you lose accountability when you don't when bro from next door can't look you in the eye and say, "What did you just say?" Yeah. When you can just block them, or you can just say something and you get a bunch of other crazy people online who will be in your echo chamber and be like, "Yes, queen, you know what you said is right." It's very much a problem. That's
Mhm.
more of a city versus non-city thing. Well,
Mm.
that's what the internet became, though. The internet became basically it's basically metropolis for everybody. So you can say whatever you want to whoever you want, and it doesn't matter because 'cause you'll never see those people before. You'll never see those people again. And
Right.
that's the thing, when you live in a city, you can say whatever you want, you can do whatever you want because you know you're more likely than not never
Mm.
gonna see these people again. In
You would
SoCal, in a big city like where I live, yeah, you're very likely to never see these people again.
it's more of, I wouldn't say anything. I'd say within a line of reason, more than time. But that's sort of the social anxiety and stuff. But anyway, not know your neighbors. I mean, oh, okay. But anyway, but
Yeah,
yeah, we.
that's the thing, that's what I was saying with my parents. They now know all of their neighbors, they actually have friends, which is fantastic because they don't have to call me every 5 minutes and be like, "What are you doing?" Like,
Oh,
"Bruh." But, no, but
that's
it's
sad.
good. I wanted them to have their own lives and to have their own friends and to have their own interests. I was telling them, I was like, "You guys are suffocating, you're dying here, and you don't even know it because it's
Mm.
so comfortable. You don't even know it." And now that they've moved out there, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so great. It's like a new life." And it's fantastic. I mean, they just have so many friends now, and they go out and they go walking and they touch grass, literally. There actually is grass. That's amazing. So, it's just it is there is a thing like that, but I think that internet basically kind of allows you to be more to live the metropolitan life wherever you are. You can do that.
It
With the threat of
again.
getting your butt kicked, you tend to mind your manners. Yes, absolutely. When you don't have and that's the thing with women too. We don't fight physically, which y'all may have noticed, which is why name calling has gotten so pervasive now that we've feminized our society. Um, but when you have women and they will look at you and go, "Sorry, darling, what did you say? Can you say that again, please? I didn't quite hear you." No, we'll
Yeah.
just say, "I didn't quite hear you," and the social anxiety that comes to that, I tell you, women will get each other in line through just
Mhm.
looks and words, and a lot of times dudes in the room have no idea what just happened, and all the girls are like, "Ooh, did you see that?" So and the guy's like, "What? I didn't see it." We're like, "Nah, dude, the way that she just shrugged her shoulder means that it is on, and that is she's going to get what we call the cut direct." It's a
Mhm.
thing, and yeah. Anyway,
She,
but, yeah, I think that there's no accountability. I don't think I've seen this creator before. Hello!
uh,
Um,
Abe, she's on Rumble only, so that's why she's not. You haven't seen her. Well, you have. She was on with Chad and Zeo for a Pay It Forward stream a while back, but she's mostly on Rumble, so that may be why you don't see her. But
she's
she
lazy,
does.
that's what.
Uh, that's a you thing to say, not for me. But I did put her links and the stuff in the description below, so you want to check her out. She is there. because I know Tomby's on Rumble too, but I don't know if you've ever checked over here as well. Ladies are weird. We're all weird.
We're
Zeo,
mages, man. Mages be weird.
you including.
Yeah, this is how I'm able to say it so authoritatively.
Yes, because you're a woman and everyone listens to you.
Yes, because I can either apply a buff or a debuff to the entire day. Yes.
Ooh, she's getting D&D on us, guys. Who's the DM now?
Yeah,
Anyway,
and I mean, that's what we do. That's our superpower. That's what we do. Y'all's superpowers are slightly more obvious because things actually fall down or break or whatever or blow up. Yeah,
it's
mine's
on. It's on. Jesus. No, there's no fight. Goodness, Abe, come on. Um, but yeah, no, but that's what Darachat is about. We could talk about whatever we want, and
yeah.
this is something of the social human aspect that gets talked a lot about, but there's no. It feels like there's no real solution, and we're ending up just fighting each other over who's the bigger, who's the better, and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, the real consequence is going to be well, we'll end up seeing what that is, and maybe we'll live to see it, maybe we won't. But at the end of the day, we're not making ourselves in any better position. But at the end of the day, if a meteorite strikes us, we're gone anyway. So there's that too.
Well, yeah, I
Um,
mean, the thing is everybody's going to die. That I mean, there's one thing that, it's going to happen to everybody, and it's going to be that you die.
well,
So
I meant a meteorite striking from space, but you're not
yeah,
wrong too.
but I mean, whether or not a meteorite comes for everybody, you specifically are going to die at some point, and
Yeah,
so
true.
we have
Yeah,
to make the
the
best of
best
the
of it.
lives that we do have
Yeah.
because it's precious and it matters.
And the more you know. Da, 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 da.
But do
Um,
be aware that the more you know, as I think it was somebody pointed out in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. I was rereading the chat, but I'm bad with the names. But yes, increasing of
penis,
knowledge will increase your sorrow because the more you
penis.
know, the more problems you find. I
The
forgot peanuts
more
don't belong in tacos. What? How did you forget that? How did
waiting
you?
on
How would you?
peanut
Waiting
butter,
on the
maybe
meteor.
peanut butter and tacos. No, I think it is that the more you know, the less you'll. There was a song I heard this from. Um, there's a song I know that has that sort of lined up. The more I know, uh,
Bro, Chad, why?
peanut butter pizza. Hey, people like pineapple on pizza, so there you go.
No, peanut
Um,
butter is even worse. I hate pineapple on
Dollops
pizza,
of peanut butter. What
but
is
peanut
the
butter,
song?
why would you do he's messing with me, guys. He's messing with me. Oh,
Do it,
yeah.
mess with her, mess with her.
If you knew
Oh,
all
come
of the
on.
things that happened in the world, you would know all of the tragedies that happened, and they would ruin your day and your life.
Why are you being slow on me? Come on, give me it.
Um,
Fine.
the increase of knowledge does increase it will make you a more somber person the more that you know. This is why watching news all day will make you sad.
Well,
Um
that's not even real knowledge. At the end of the day, it's just regurgitated farts, is what it is.
Well, I'm not even talking about I'm speaking more in a general sense. If you watch, let's just say that the news was honest and it's literally just telling you what's happening, you would be depressed if you
Um,
watched everything that happened all day. Because even if you've read 5,000 good stories, you read 5 terrible, horrifying
that
stories
is.
and it will ruin your day.
I'm
So
getting my day ruined by all this pizza stuff. Come on, guys.
they know that it bothers me and they're doing it on purpose. They're just mean. They're
You're
just the
just mean,
worst.
guys. Stop being mean.
You guys need to
Um,
stop being meanies.
trying to find what is
So while Dara's checking for
got
a
that.
song, anybody got any questions,
Well,
comments, concerns?
actually promote yourself. Go ahead and
Promote
promote
myself?
yourself. Yes.
Sup, y'all? Meg. I do this. Uh, well, no, as Cross Kitty, I do this. I talk.
Yes.
I say things. But as Mediocre Gamer Girl, my alter ego, which I
Mhm.
usually go by, haha, I play video games in a very mediocre way. I am currently playing through Okami. I play it on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because I am still stuck in the hellscape that is known as California.
Oh,
Um, 7 PM Eastern time. I play for about 2 hours, and I love reading the chat and interacting with it and getting distracted by it, as I am on this stream, which may have noticed. And yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Come by, give me a holler, laugh at me as I fail terribly in this game.
Oh, don't say that.
No, that's my thing though. Like I if I was actually like a reasonable player, I don't even know if that'd be that interesting to watch me play. Hot sauce is the same on everything.
Dang it! There was a song I knew that
Meat
had a
lovers with
line of.
bell pepper, extra mushrooms, and cashews. Why would you put cashews? Why, Mr. R? Why
I
would you
I
put peanuts on a pizza?
anyway, I've got to pull up my thing. Sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but you
guys,
were
whether
looking
you
for things. I'm talking to the chat's talking about pizza ideas. Pizza and hummus together?
anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
whether you're on YouTube, I'm on both YouTube and Rumble, and if whether you're on either or, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing, commenting, or leaving a follow, anything that helps the engagement is much appreciated because it allows me to be seen more and also have more people on, like Meg, like UB Legend, like Zeo, like Chad, and like so many others. And I look forward. I just yesterday had my 100th person on, so
Raisins.
and I look forward to seeing what the rest of the year will bring and beyond. And so, but I hope you'll help with the engagement because that's one of the few ways it's going to help bring on more and more people. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get to 1,000, maybe even 1,000,000. Who knows? But one day at a time. And also, if you'd like to come on or know where I'm at, go down the link tree, follow me. I'm at links, and of course, if you want to do that, just leave a comment in either YouTube or Rumble. And if you want to come on, we can get started to do that. But anyway, I think we'll end it close to there because it is a day, and I don't want to go. I used to go like however long the conversation went, but there's a point where I've got other stuff I need to get to, and nothing against what in the world. Oh, I'm a big bloke, but from Sound of Voice, you probably do D&D, DBT, AS. Look, there are so many of those people that do ASMR out there. It's not. It's insane. But yes, any help with the engagement or whatever is great because again, I want to bring more people on for Dara's Hangout, and I want to bring
Licorice
on.
on pizza.
Oh goodness, I want to be able to bring more people on. Oh, thank you. Because
Aw, thanks, Zeo. We appreciate it. Well,
oh, thanks.
Zeo, I appreciate it because I'm here, but mostly Zeo.
Yeah,
I
I
feel sorry.
appreciate after all those times that stopped by your chat to kind of unhinge it a bit. I thank you for that, Zio, and also that will be added for. Have a good. Oh, see you later, Chad. Well, I'm not leaving yet. I'm getting to that point. I still have a bunch of people.
Like,
Oh, look at Deepak Chad Zero. We talked about this. Thank you for that. That's another one. If you guys keep going, Meg gets asked a lot of questions. So, yeah,
that's fine. Do I
yeah.
have to be private because of crapheads?
What?
It was
Who
just
said that?
blip and blap. It was a little bit further up.
Oh, blip and blap.
It
The
was a
first
lot
guy.
of things were happening at the time. I'm sorry I missed it.
Oh, I see it. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm just very precious about my anonymity.
Anonymity. Anonymity. I got a
Yeah,
birthday to deal with, so I have
you
to.
guys want my
So I'll have at it.
OnlyFans link. Lol.
Oh, boo! When Zio went up to play ball, he saw Chad. Said, "You know what, Chad? You win." No, but that just means you get to be asked 2 extra questions. Anyway, before we do though, I do have enough people before we leave because I'm going to close out. Before we leave though, I get to do. I do have the option of doing an ad read, so we're going to do that. So if everyone just doesn't move for a second,
No moving.
we can do an ad read, and of course, you have
No
the
moving.
same opportunity to do this too, Meg, if you ever use Rebel Studio. But anyway, before we going forward, here we go. All right, hold on. There we go. And okay, I might do this in a Kermit voice. I don't know.
To the ad. To the ad.
Doing it. Are you looking? Are you looking to help the next generation in understanding and engaging in the Bible? The Kingstone Bible is the most complete graphic adaptation of the Bible ever done and is the perfect product for helping young adults read, dive into, and interact with the Bible. This graphic Bible helps young adults understand the historical timelines of the Bible, learn about both well known and lesser known characters, Orthodox Christian teachings. Top comic artists from Kingstone Comics have created a stunning 2,000 plus page graphic novel to capture the whole Bible from Genesis to Revelation. The entire Old Testament and New Testament is available either as a hardcover trilogy or in a 6 soft cover volumes. With the Kingstone Bible, young adults can read scripture from cover to cover and many times retain the content longer than traditional text. Find this and more exciting products at kingstonecomics.com. That is Kingstone, KNGSTONE comics.com. And as you see, there is a QR code there. Save $20 by either going to the link or following the QR code. Thank you very much,
Oh,
everyone. I
dang.
appreciate it. So how
This
did I do?
absolutely does look sick. You're right, Chad. This actually looks pretty good.
So how did I do?
You did good. You did good, man. You made. I was like, you know what? Let me click on it, and then I did, and now I'm
I've got to
actually intrigued.
I've got to copy the link address and I've got to add it to the YouTube side.
Wait, what is today? Today is Saturday.
Today is Saturday. Kingstone. Sorry, I'm adding it. Comics.
Flip and blap. Flip and a blap. You are a troublemaker.
At Kingstone Comics add special. I think add link, and then I've got to. Sorry, I'm doing the YouTube side. I've got to, I can edit. So what's funny thing is I can edit this live from the YouTube side, and I'm trying to get. So this is going to have.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. Give me a second.
Sure. No problem.
And add the ad. Done. Okay. I've got to.
Yeah, Zeo, man. We just did class yesterday, so you know that would mean that yesterday was
All
Friday,
right.
or so today is Saturday.
Oh goodness, you guys are doing your stuff in my chat. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Anyway, that
I
was
was
the
just
ad read.
asking what they're playing. You know, you were busy, so they were.
I know.
talking
I
amongst
get it.
themselves.
I appreciate it, all of you. I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate all of you who do come on and those who have yet to come on. Reaching 100 people I didn't think was possible, and I look forward to how many more I can reach by the end of the year. September is half full. I'm looking to have many more people on, and I hope you'll all be able to join me. I know. A bunch of the people I have on are creators. They do their own thing, so I may not have the high numbers that other creators have, but I am reaching across a lot of different people. And that's the point of Darachat. That's the point of Dara's Hangout Den. That's the point, part of the point of what the Rumble Squared is going to be, is to bring people together, to make these connections, to bring about a form of connecting, not with just myself, but with other people within this thing, so that we can build this, not a community, but just other connections, with people, and all that stuff. And thank you, Build Up. I know you're a troublemaker, but I do thank you for that. So,
Yeah,
and I
thank
thank you all
you.
for your. Thank you. See, you know what? When Zeo wants to be nice, this is what he does. When he doesn't want to be nice, he gives me a downvote. But no, Rumble Squared. That's right. This is what Rumble Squared is going to be. What it's going to look like, but it's not going to be exactly. And so we'll have asked for artistic help with getting it done. But I thank you all, whether you're on Rumble and whether you're on YouTube, it does not matter. This thing with Rumble Squared will be something that can involve everyone from any platform, because I do want to help Rumble become better, and you're not going to become better if you don't have the positive, constructive conversations to have. What is Chad saying now? Last time I connected with someone, look, Chad, I don't want to hear about your cry whininess, okay? I get it, all right? Last time I connected with someone, I got a court order. Well, you're about to get a court order right now if you keep it up. It's going to be called the mute button. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you all being here. And before we go, Meg, I have something. It's called Questions from a Hat. I don't think I did it when you were on with Chad and Zeo last time.
No, you were talking about possibly doing that.
Yes, and I am. It's called Questions from a Hat. I bought my Rumble hat. Look, so what it is.
Oh, yay!
So as you know, it's a cross between boats and hoes. Look, I'm not even going to go with that.
That's from Step Brothers. Don't you remember?
It's been a while.
That was the name of the song that they sung.
Did you mute Chad? Who muted Chad? Don't tell me Chad got muted.
He did not get muted.
Okay, I don't want him getting muted. He shouldn't have gotten muted. None of my. If there's anyone who's, I don't think there's anyone who is on the. I don't see anyone who's a mod. The only person I know who's a mod is not on here. Okay, I don't see anyone who's a mod. I didn't do it.
No, you're not muted.
No, you're muted. No, okay. I just thought someone muted him. Zeo, thanks a lot for that.
He muted himself. No, Zeo was just. Zeo was
that's why I'm not going to make Zeo a mod on my channel because I know he'll probably use up power. Maybe D-pad Chad as well. No, you're not a mod, so don't worry about it, Mr. R. Anyway, it's a cross between the Actor Studio and Scenes from a Hat from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And because Chad and Zeo were so nice to donate, you'll get 4 questions instead of 2. So the rule is that the guest would get 2 freebies, and then Chat would have to give a rumble rant or whatever to have more questions asked. And since Chad and Zeo decided to give a rumble rant, you get 4 instead of 2. So we're gonna go.
I'm not looking at it for us.
Well, thank you, D-pad. Thank you, D-pad Chad. I appreciate that. See, D-pad Chad and Zeo can be nice when they want to be. Look at that. They have smiles, but sometimes those rascals, those little rascals, I tell you.
Oh yeah, don't trust them. They're always up to no good.
All right, let's get the first one. What is the first one going to be? How about this one? Sure, is this one?
Mm-hmm.
I try to be Chad, though. There's some people who test it, but I do try to be. Okay, here we go. If your pet could talk, what's the first thing they would say to you? Come on. Yeah, I know you have a pet.
I do. I have a cat named McLovin. And I believe the first thing that she would say, I'm trying to put myself in her paws, and it would most likely be something to the effect of, "Why precisely, darling, is it that you only give me the num-nums at night? I am such a good cat. I deserve more than this, dear."
Meow, meow, yes, meow. I am pumping.
Also meow.
Meow, yes, meow. Look at this food. This looks like trash. Where's the real stuff? Meow.
Well, no. She has her dry food all day, but she only gets her num-nums at night. And sometimes she's a little. It's dusk and she's still like, I think it's dark enough. I feel that I should get my num-nums now. And I'm like, no, dude, you get it when it's dark. We get it at dinner time. And we have the argument a little bit.
Is num-nums code word for catnip? Because I just want to make sure we're not.
You know what? Okay, so a lot of my lingo I got from television. So I got that from
I was getting that part. I was.
I got num-nums from. Oh my gosh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze.
Why do I curse them all the time when I mean my bad? Oh, goodness. All right.
That's pretty funny. What's a num-num? Yeah, a num-num is just a snack, a treat. Why does she get her treats?
Why does she get
she gets wet food at night. But the thing is that also if I give her too much, she won't eat it all.
Yeah,
she'll just let it go. Yeah, she'll just let it sit out and go bad and then cry at me the next day. I'm like, bro, you did this. Anyway.
Be a lazy fat cat. All right, here's number 2.
Yeah,
Here, little blue one. Let's see what's in this, y'all. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This one is easy, y'all. Can you answer this one? Do you prefer the coffee or tea?
I prefer tea.
Ooh. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Typically. However, not when I'm eating dessert. When I'm eating dessert, I'd prefer to have coffee.
Okay. I prefer hot chocolate, and that's in none of it. So I'm not a coffee person.
All right. So let me specify the kind of. So both coffee and tea, I put creamer in or milk in. And beer. Ugh, it's cat piss, basically. Bottled cat piss.
Horse piss, cat piss, any animal piss, really.
And the best tea is actually a chai tea latte. So.
Oh, here we go. We got somebody who's a little Starbucks over here.
Oh no! Starbucks is absolute swill.
Oh, it's absolute swill. Those dogs, they always come with the things and all those things, and just
it's Starbucks. You walk in there, it smells like burned coffee, and then they promise on that smell whenever you order a coffee. It's disgusting. Just ugh.
What? No, and Abe, whenever you do come on, and that's going to be if you do come on, because I still haven't heard that callback. Yeah, I don't think it'll be breakthroughs, but it'll be whatever. Arby makes food. Yeah, a lot of fast foods make food, but that's no more. You don't feed a cat Arby's. Oh, that'd be interesting. All right, on to question number 3. I am picking it as
I
we
like the
speak.
Arby's Euro, honestly. Those are good.
Arby's Euro. You mean
Bro, they're
Euro?
so good.
This
P,
woman
this
is a
woman is a
legend.
legend. Ban everyone else.
That's the English for you right there.
Huzzah.
Huzzah, you fools! Huzzah!
Yes, I unironically say huzzah as well. Go ahead.
Oh, here we go. Here's now. This is one of the questions. Oh! There he is, Folsom. What up, Folsom?
I'm
Oh
watching
yeah, he's
Boondock
giving this.
Saints right now and think I've cracked the code. The Russians killed all the Fraggles, but Doc survived. Then several years later, he had the Saints avenge his old Fraggle friends.
He's talking about someone who appeared in Boondock Saints and Fraggle Rock. So no,
So
thank you,
cool.
Folsom. So that means you get another question. Now
Oh,
you have 2
good.
more left.
Oh, dear.
So this is
I've
one of the
survived this far, y'all.
This is one of the questions that would be on the list of things that James Lipton would ask his guests, and it is: if heaven exists, what would you like What would you like to hear God say to you at the pearly gates?
I believe that heaven does exist, and what I would hope to hear would be, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant."
It's the question you're going to ask. I'm going based off that. Right? Don't get
Oh no,
snippy.
that's perfect. That's actually one of my favorite questions of all time.
Oh, really? Did you watch the Actor Studio?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I liked the question just now.
Let me pull out number 3. No, wait. No, that was number 3. So we're on number 4, and we have a number 5. So hold on. This is number 3. No, 4. This is number. I like a number.
Numbers.
Oh, the 4. I like a number. Oh, the 4 with a number 5. What is he saying? What? Who is this guy? All right. Here's the 4th one. Do you prefer sweet or salty snacks?
Ooh, okay. I like a salty snack with a sweet tea, with again, my latte, my chai tea. I'm a spice girl. I like the spice teas. I'm not big on floral teas. Florals. Ugh.
Which song?
Hmm?
You said you were a Spice Girl. Which song?
Ugh. And the only one I can think of is Wannabe, and no, not that one. What is it? There was also the Spice Up Your Life. Yeah, that one. Spice Up Your Life. Everything should be spiced.
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to tell her, Folsom. That's what you were saying yesterday. That's what I was trying to tell her.
Oh no,
$500.
I understood that it was lore that I didn't understand, but it was probably to do with the movie. $500.
I don't know what that's for. What's that from?
I don't know.
No, do I. Now, if you're saying I got $500, I have not ever. The only person who's given me that much is Chad, and that was $200. But I don't ever think I'll get $500. I have to be real lucky. All right, last one. Thank you, Folsom, for this. This is question number 5. Oh, Bubble Boy. Well, how am I supposed to know that? I've never seen Bubble Boy or whatever it is. All right. Jerry, I don't know what that means. I'm not English, okay? Come on. I'm American. I speak English, but I'm not English like UK English. All right. Unless someone gives another, this is the last one. All right. Let me just mix this up. Where's a good one? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what's inside.
Need to watch it. Bubble Boy? Is that what we need to watch?
Maybe.
Well, while he's sneezing, thank you guys so much for coming and for being in the chat and everything. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed.
I'm not sneezing. I'm burping. Goodness sake! I'm trying not to do that.
You know, you should have taken sneeze, honestly. But thanks for.
And that's the end of our show. No more questions. No more.
Thanks for having me on. It's been really fun.
I didn't even get the last one yet.
No, I was taking the time while you were doing something. I believe in efficiency, sir. Go ahead.
I should have been like at the fast food. Anyway, the 5th one is: what inspired you to want to create content?
Ooh, honestly, watching another streamer who I thought was just fantastic and hilarious, and I was like, If I
I'm
could be
just
even
nice.
kind of that hilarious, it would be really cool. And, after years and years of putting it off, I just finally decided, "You know what? Let's just see if I can do it." And it turns out I technically can. So, we'll see how much other people enjoy it. But, right now I'm having a good time, so
And that's how we got to meet you, and have you on here, and of course,
yeah.
meeting me as uh, having you come on that one time got to for Chad and Zeo, so you got that going, and
Yeah,
it's
I've
just
gotten
been
lots of friends this way. It's very
yeah.
interesting.
See, that's the power of Darachat right there. But anyway,
Yeah.
guys, um, what is it? This This is next week. Those are the people coming on for next week. I will put up the list tomorrow, the schedule for tomorrow. I have to start writing in for September. I haven't gotten there yet, but I hope you'll be able to come for Monday and see Crazy Goffo. He's a rumbler as well. But no, I do thank you all. I thank you, Meg, for coming on the second time. This is her second time.
It is
Uh,
my second
just
time.
just on a single note, and I hope you all to see you again because this thing I didn't know was possible, and yet I'm pursuing it, and it's growing, and it's doing well, and I hope to carry it through until I have more and more people, because that's the point, is to connect and hear these other perspectives and other things, and talk about the irrelevant or relevant things in our world, and or just what we see, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, whether it's something that's going on right now or something that's been on for 1,000 years. And just yeah, no, thank you for being here,
Thanks,
Mr. R.
Mr. R. And
And
thanks for
what is
contributing to the chat. It was really fun.
yeah, and he's like the PG side of chap. So yeah, I don't curse. I mean, I can make up words. It's all fun that way anyway. But no, I thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Meg, and I hope to see you all next time. Cause this thing won't be anywhere without people like you. Whether
Without
you're watching,
viewers like you.
yes, PBS. Whether you're here now or in the future, this thing will grow and become something more, and you're all along for the ride. So don't forget that. But anyway, guys, uh, as always, as we always end the show, and you know it, you probably know it too, Meg. So why don't you
Mhm.
say what this is going to be? What is the song I play at the end?
Oh gosh, it's a Pogo song. I believe it's "From Me to You." Is that it?
Chat. I think she gets a bronze star. We'll give her a wooden star for trying, because that's what you do for all participants. No, it is One Day with You
Oh,
by
whatever.
Pogo. I try so hard with so many people, but anyway.
You know what? I'll click on you now. How about that? Open box. I mean, I don't care, but Dara might. Dara might have thoughts and feelings.
Does she care if you leave a link for a follow? Uh, if it's for that, I don't mind. If it's for that, I don't mind. But you might want to hurry up quick. Her links are down in are down in the description below. So at least the one she that I know of. So because she's only on Twitter X and Rumble. But if it's for a follow, that's okay. But yeah, I've got to find emotes for doing like different, because I'd like to do like a gold star, a bronze star, stuff that would be for members. But I really don't know where to find emoji things that will be like that. So, but what do I know? I'll look it up, I guess. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Meg. And like I said, One Day with You by Pogo. See you Monday, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye.
Bye, guys.